been muted this whole time.
Wow.
We've been muted the whole time. Because I muted it in the other scene, you see. Because I'm stupid.
How's it going, Dopemon fans? It is the NHL Entry Draft for 2023. We are very excited to finally get this to you. If you haven't already, go check out really quickly our mock draft for the draft here. Go scroll to the end. Who cares? Just see what our picks were. We have obviously our rankings down below, so you can keep up. We're gonna cross them off as we go along.
So excited it took your voice away. Yep. Yeah, I'm
Jake Brown. Christmas time.
Christmas time.
Yes.
Let's go. Summer Christmas.
See, we got our wish list, down below. Oh man, we did the thing where it says your.
What?
I should have swapped our names in the graphic. I did this last year.
Where... Oh yeah. Dang it.
Yeah,
well,
we
hold
kept
on.
having
Can
to tell people.
Hold on. I might be able to actually do something with this. I'll just flip us. Transform. No, it's horizontal.
Players get drafted by your biggest rival. Jake Brown. Okay, see, I predicted that this year out of spite. I was like, you know what, Dmitry Simashev, he's going to get drafted by Toronto because, I do have him ranked as a top D. I'd love to have him magically go to the Sens. Maybe the Sens trade Alex DeBrincat for the pick that becomes Simashev, but Toronto's going to get him somehow because that's just how it goes.
Yeah, we're a work in progress over here at Dopemon, Zach. We're professional YouTubers, you see, and sometimes we have to add it on the fly. Yeah, Ottawa doesn't have a first-round pick.
Nope.
What are you doing here?
I think they should. Well, you know what? This is where the Alex DeBrincat trade comes into effect because it's going to be a sign and trade or trade and sign where the team will want him. He's an RFA. They will have control over him. That matters. It's a big deal for Ottawa in the trade when they got him. That because he's an RFA, when they trade him away, he'll actually have value. Because if he was an UFA right now, and they had walk for nothing.
Yeah. Greetings from Edmundston. It's Nadeau time here.
Whoa, Bradley Nadeau.
I don't have him. I have him 34th.
34th?
Neither of us had him in the first round, so yeah.
I need to watch the BCHL. I need to watch some more.
I don't scout a whole lot of the BCHL.
Yeah.
Neither do I, honestly.
Junior A that I like the miss out on. Like that's the one I need to. But also I'm gonna watch, OJHL, whatever.
Yeah. I haven't watched many of Booze as my favorite uncles. What was I gonna say? Obviously, I watched a ton of Junior A when I was working for the company, but haven't since really. Haven't had time to. Elliot Friedman saying greater than 50% chance that Montreal keeps their pick. I don't know what that means exactly, Elliot.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
I can tell you with a fact, everybody watching right now, that there is a chance that Montreal drafts, and there is a chance that they don't. Gotcha.
Elliot
Thanks.
Friedman, insider.
Yes, that's the quality reporting you get from Sportsnet.
Zach, I saw you got a couple bets going. You said you had the 4th overall. What is it? Out of curiosity, because I have a couple single game bets too. I could have told you that, huh? I have a couple single game bets, or single picks, I guess. 5th overall, I have Zach Benson, which was 15.6. So I took a flyer on that, but everything else is the over-unders and stuff. I have 8 total for the first round. That's all I could really do.
Zach Benson's going to fly into this league, man.
Yeah,
he's going to come out with a 50-point season, and then another 50 points. He's going to be so perfect. He's going to come into the league and just be great.
Yeah.
He's got and in every aspect of the game, he's good at it. He's going to be an impact player. He's going to be, he's just going to matter on the team. And he's too good to I feel like a lot of young stars, if they're given the chance too early and they don't like kind of grow and develop the right way, I feel like he's a guy who can even thrive. Some people, it's the opposite, where you need to just throw them in, sink or swim, and then they'll swim and they'll just do just fine in an NHL role. And I feel like Zach Benson's a guy that you're gonna see, obviously not next season, but like, and when he does jump into the league, I think he's gonna come out flying. 18, 20 goal kind of season. It's gonna be a Calder candidate.
Trotz wants the number 5 against the 11th and Askarov. What do you think? I don't hate that for Montreal. They don't have a goalie of the future right now. And you're not moving that far down the draft to 11. So I don't
know.
I don't hate that.
This is where
I don't know why Nashville did that either.
There's also, I think if you're Montreal, you'll know when your team is ready and when you'll need a real goaltender. And you could just go out and trade for one. Go sign one. It's a little bit easier. The goalie rotation, it happens. I don't know if I drop that far for Askarov. Like, not anything against him. I don't know if I do that for a goaltender. But I get that. Like, the whole value, I think it's a good trade. Ryan Leonard at 4. Ooh.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it's a solid little bet to just throw that on because they might have Matthew Tkachuk fever right now and freak out and take Ryan Leonard at 4 for sure. Power forward-esque type, player. I keep seeing people compare him to Tkachuk. I don't know if I would.
No, he's got some grit to him that you're like, okay, but that's not where the impact of his game is. He's not like, he doesn't. Oh, the Bettman boos.
Bettman brought up Poyle so he can ignore the boos. Everyone boo Bettman. Boo Bettman in the chat. That's so funny that he brought up Poyle, and he's like, hey, look. Don't look at me. Look at David Poyle. They brought boo. Boos in the chat for Bettman. We boo Bettman here. What's Poyle doing up there anyway? He's just standing there next to Gary as a buffer, literally.
Yes.
I thought it was a joke, but I guess not.
No, that was just...
Barry Getman.
My God.
Gary Bettman retires in a couple years and is replaced by Barry Getman.
Dopemon for commissioner.
Yeah, the first ever co-commissioners.
The commissioners.
You'd be actually decent at like the NHLPA kind of job, I think. It's more of a
the role of
advocate
Gary,
for the players.
Yeah, the role of Gary Bettman as commissioner is really to represent the ownership group.
Yeah,
which I would not do well.
No, he does well.
Yeah,
for what he does, but we hate him on principle.
Yeah,
because
exactly,
he represents
right.
the owners. We're more of
honestly
NHLPA heads, I guess.
I don't think he'd be like if he weren't the commissioner. I wouldn't hate him. I don't think he's
if he wasn't commissioner.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a lawyer. He's a little slimy boy, but other than that, I hate the way he talks too.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
His bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Thank you,
He's
Nashville,
talking down to
for
people who are
hosting
booing.
the draft. Shut up.
Oh, and it takes him forever just to make any kind of point.
I know, because he's a lawyer. He's jumping around.
Yeah, right.
So when he answers questions in the media, he's always like, "It's an answer, but not really."
Yeah.
What is happening?
My God, who cares? Shut up, Bettman.
He's just doing like Nashville things. It's taking longer than Trudeau to answer questions. Same vibe. Like he knows he's in the wrong, so he's just dancing around.
Sitting there sweating up there.
Here comes Pekka Rinne. Cool. I thought he was coming on stage. I guess. Oh yeah,
He is. With a guitar. Yay, a blues guitar.
Yeah, we're in Nashville.
Right, I forgot we're in Nashville. So this is your chance down below. Don't forget to leave, comment who you think is going to go with the top 5. Oh, your top 5.
Yeah, what's everyone's top 5 mock here? You can see ours on the board. We're pretty similar, actually. Can we all agree that as far as entertainment product goes, the NFL and NBA do it better? Yeah, 100%. I don't like the NBA as it currently is, but I watched the draft the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be so much better than anything tonight because they know how to, hype up their young talent and their young potential superstars. They know how to do the product better.
Just seeing a bunch of old people standing around on stage talking for 20 minutes, that's not how you market these.
Yeah, and then everyone will thank, their team and Nashville and ownership, and then waffle about
guys to Nashville and the people. Come on, move on.
Yeah. Number 1, we picked Connor Bedard. Thank you.
Yeah.
It'd be the fastest draft.
Can we just put him on there?
We should, actually. I mean...
Just in case anybody joins us, but probably in brackets.
Matvei Michkov. Bedard, Michkov, Fantilli, Carlsson, Leonard. And we have Bedard, Fantilli, Carlsson, Leonard, Wood. Leonard both in 2 top 5s, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like Leonard up there.
Yeah, I think people are definitely realizing the impact of a guy that, they think of a Kachuk type, if you agree with that or not.
Yeah.
And we have Chicago on the board. If it takes them 3 minutes to pick Bedard, we're going to have a problem.
Bedard, Fantilli, Carlsson, Leonard, and Michkov. I like that too.
Yeah, I want Mitch. I definitely see Michkov going to Montreal. I just have a good feeling.
I like Jake Brown taking Michkov at 2. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Anaheim could use. Imagine McTavish and Michkov. Oh,
that's a good combo. Zegras and Michkov.
Yeah. It's too much of the same.
I don't know about the same.
The Michigans can't both do them.
Can't both hog the Michigan spotlight.
Imagine if 2 lines.
Michkov would go second at 1,600. That's actually crazy odds. I like that. Michkov is so, who knows where Michkov is going, so that's not a terrible bet either.
Right. He could drop to Washington.
He could.
And
drop all the way up. I was going to say, did you see this?
No.
They did one of those find on the street, ask the players, ask random. That's Kyle Davidson.
Oh, okay.
That's GM of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And the guy interviewing had no idea who he is.
Yeah.
He just thought he was a young hockey guy. So he was like, hey, do you know anything about the NHL?
Right.
And he goes, yes. Can you name 20 players in 20 seconds? And he goes, and he lists off Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Really? It was so funny, dude. He looks at the camera like, yeah. I'm confident.
Somebody at home is going to recognize me.
Yeah, someone will get it. That's so funny, dude. I saw that today at work. I was laughing. Oh, the pick is in. That was fast.
People are already upset at their picking.
I'm going to capture my cursor every time. Better. Bedard already stands up. I'm just going to put him in.
One end. It's 2.
It's one end.
2 ends.
You're
Connor Bedard. Oh, congratulating the Vegas
Oh, it is
Golden
too
Knights. Just go. Just move on. Don't say hi to people. Move on and put Anaheim on the clock. Can you stop? I should have put all my money on Bedard going first. That would have
Should I bold the last name? You're giving me
just
giving me shit about that last time.
Yeah. Yeah, you should actually.
I should.
Yeah, it'll help.
Connor Bedard goes first.
Is the audio playing?
No. Is that green?
Yes, light green.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yes, that's how you highlight it.
Took me a second. I'm sorry.
We're both right. Look at us. What up?
Yeah, 1 for 1, baby.
Yeah, perfect streak.
What a surprise, Bedard going first. Who knew? Yeah, consensus number 1. I mean, I think they would have fired Kyle Davidson on the spot,
Yes.
like on the stage if he didn't take him.
Yes, absolutely.
You couldn't even bet on this guy going first because it was so fucking. It was locked in for since the lottery.
Locked in since like a year ago.
Well, not even locked in. I mean, for Chicago.
Oh, but yeah. Fair.
But yeah, you're right. A couple years ago, even.
Mm-hmm.
So good, generational. Too bad he's going to Chicago.
Yeah. Seriously.
Blackhawks would have folded. Yeah, just move the whole team. It is now the Houston Blackhawks.
Right, and like they tried to do some kind of rebranding middle weird thing, and it just didn't feel genuine. And then Bedard, and it's like, okay, well now it works.
Too bad he's right. Yeah. He's so good. I can't wait to watch him play, though, honestly. Him and Taylor Hall are going to form a decent little unit right away.
Yeah, Hall's going to get him the puck.
Yeah. Hall's going to rack up. He's going to have a good season. If anyone has a bunch of fantasy teams, make sure you draft Hall at some point, like mid-rounds. Worst lineage to have in your first NHL shift to Taylor. Yeah, honestly. I don't know who they're going to put on his right, but...
Who cares?
Yeah, honestly. Look at this. He's so sick. That's nasty. Yeah, I used that in our mock draft. Woohoo! I used this in our mock draft, that's for sure. This goal against Slovakia, dude. Oh.
It was effortless. But he was dialed in. And now they're showing
Chell
EA footage. This is not Connor Bedard.
Chell 23, Connor Bedard. Scoring on Euro Halak of the New York Rangers for some reason. What is this? Guys, anyone else notice instead of the typical draft year number on the jersey, they gave him the 98? That's actually true. I didn't notice that. Good call. Good eye. They gave him what number because they knew, right?
Yeah, that's his actual jersey.
Yeah, that's his actual jersey number.
Yeah, like that's the one he'll be wearing, and like the one he's wearing right now is his Ice Game Day jersey.
Yeah, he's just gonna take it home. He's like, bring this to camp on day 1.
I can't stop smiling. What a cute little kid, man.
Jersey number 3.
Now, comment down below if you were surprised that Bedard was selected.
And then we'll ban you. First ever Chicago Blackhawk to wear the number 98. Fun fact. Or will be. Or unless you count this.
Yeah. Now he's wearing it.
So. He is wearing it. 98, first ever time. I had to Google that real quick. Now, here's the where the draft actually starts. Is Anaheim at number 2.
After 10 minutes is now on the clock.
Daniel is Fantilli. Zach is Fantilli. Jake Brown is Michkov. I have Fantilli, and you have Fantilli.
I think they have to do Fantilli. But Michkov is not a bad choice.
No, Michkov isn't a bad choice. Even Leo Carlsson isn't a bad choice. Like, if you're really high on Leo Carlsson, why not? I think it's one of those 3. I think it's Adam Fantilli.
I feel like if there's a spot on your roster for Leo Carlsson, then Fantilli or Michkov can fill it better.
Yeah.
In that where I can't imagine either. It has to be one of them in my head canon.
Number of hard-hitting questions. Sportsnet indicated that Bedard's favorite Taylor Swift song is Love Story. What is Dopemon's favorite Taylor Swift song?
The one where she shuts up.
Oh, boo.
That's...
I don't know. What's a Taylor Swift song?
I cannot name a single Taylor Swift song.
I'm going to actually try to answer this.
The one about a breakup. Oh, wait.
What's the one with the music video? No. The one with the music video where, like, they're in separate houses and they're, like, girl next door, boy next... That one. You Belong With Me. I don't know. That's the only one I recognize.
Oh, pick 2 is in. Hello.
Oh, the pick is in.
The last time they picked
You boys
it
not a Swiftie? Yes, we're not Swiftie. I'm sorry.
The last time Anaheim picked 2nd overall?
Exposed.
Bobby Ryan.
Bobby Ryan. Missed out on... Sidney Crosby. By one pick.
Yeah.
By one pick.
Yeah,
and now they're missing out on Bedard.
Yeah,
by one pick.
There you go. History does repeat itself.
Yeah. Anaheim screaming currently.
This feels fake. Their pick is in, but they're not up there. Like,
right? I mean, this is just like Sportsnet's overlay, so who knows?
Fair, right.
Who knows what's actually going on?
One day we're going to be invited to the draft for real. We're going to make a big video about it. Hey, look, we're invited to the draft, and we're not going to go.
We're going to be here anyway.
Like, oh, it's in San Jose. Yeah, what's up? Nice catch.
Yeah, good catch. Just following the trend. Yeah.
Yeah,
35 Stanley Cup champions. This is true.
Hey, Chicago.
Pittsburgh has 3, though. So.
Turn up sports just a little bit.
Sure, I guess this is. You can actually end system.
Proud to select from Orebro, SHL,
Leo
Carlsson.
Wow. I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, Leo, baby.
My God, Columbus. What a gift.
Wow. Honestly, yeah.
If you're
big surprise, dude. First big surprise of the draft. Leo Carlsson to Anaheim. Woo! Fun. Wow. That's fun.
Did anybody in the chat get that one?
Yeah, did someone do that? Let me see here.
I had Michkov at 2nd.
Someone had Michkov.
No,
Zach had 3. Everyone had him at
Carlsson,
3. Jake at 4. Us at 3. 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it like Nemec last year when he went too?
Yeah, though I saw that one coming.
Yeah, you did. I was surprised, but like,
yeah.
Ooh. Had money on Leo? Oh, yeah. Oh, I lost my bet. That means I'm 0 for 1.
Yeah. You lose.
I took Adam Fantilli at 2.
Yeah. Wow. Though.
Heck.
Wow. Good for Columbus now, who, either way, with Fantilli or Michkov, or or Will Smith if they feel like it. I think that they struck gold, but I'd go for Adam Fantilli now.
Did I have a Leo prop? I don't think I did.
No, yeah, Benson.
Dang it! 0 for 1, baby. Let's go.
Oh, thank you.
There goes
Shay.
$2. Take the video boys for the draft live stream until the invite to the draft. Appreciate it.
We'll be live streaming from the draft. Don't even.
They'll kick us out so fast.
Yeah, right. Look,
We were actually.
Are you guys live streaming? No, okay. But I opened up your YouTube and
But
you're live streaming right
Here
now.
you are. Yeah. No, that's not us.
Yeah, that's.
No, I was actually considering, like, Nashville is a good place to go if you're going to go somewhere for a draft, like, just as a city.
Yeah.
Why not, right? And, like, stream from the hotel for a couple hours and then go back and party in the streets of Nashville. I was thinking about it.
Pre-draft show in the hotel room.
Yeah.
We'd like tweet and take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Tweet it, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We haven't done a Dopemon on the road video because we were planning on going to U18s one year and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a mess. So
Das German is not good.
Das German not good. No.
That's.
Down for a Nashville roadie? Hell yeah, baby. Dopemon featuring Cards and Zards road trip. Let's go. Big dub. They had to freak out and make some footage real quick
of
Leo Carlsson in the Anaheim Ducks jersey and Chell. They're like, shit. Roadie is an easy roadie. Nashville's an easy road trip too, Zach. If we go straight to Nashville and don't get like held up with the border too long, it's actually quicker than going to Ottawa from here, from where we are in Ontario.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And
For you,
going to,
right? I'm thinking for me, I'm like.
No, you're a little. It makes it like kind of borderline.
7.5 though, yeah.
Yeah. Like we're not going that far in.
Fair.
We're not going that far into the States.
Like
Nashville
Erie,
and Pittsburgh that were
Detroit
like
or whatever that way.
Yeah, we'd go Detroit and down probably, or Niagara and down depending on time of day. Down for a roadie? Oh yeah. We were doing a road trip. Who's the party bus? I'm gonna buy a big little a little Class C motorhome at some point and rip around Canada in it. So I might as well go to Nashville while we're at it. I just don't have a place to put it.
Yeah, right.
If I bought it now, where am I going to put it? On the road?
Yeah.
I live in a condo, for anyone who doesn't know. It sucks. It's lame. Leo Carlsson, though.
11-hour drive. Not bad.
Yeah.
Go through Detroit.
I mean, it was a little bit longer. But, like,
No,
if we make that stop in Peterborough, it turns into 11 hours for us.
Yeah.
So, like, 6-1. Columbus pick is in. I wonder. Wow, dude,
I think Columbus. I think they need a center. This is why, like, I had them taking Carlsson, but I had all of them. Like, would they take Will Smith? A high dynamic, skilled center, but with Fantilli on the board. And I'd love to know why not. Like, why doesn't Anaheim want Adam Fantilli? Like, did they see a hole in his game? Are they thinking, hey, Leo Carlsson fits better. His style of play fits better into, like, our mesh of the future. We're going to put him on the left wing with Trevor Zegras or something. Like, is there a plan there? But does Anaheim, are they in a spot now to draft for need rather than the best player available? And is that what happened here at second overall?
Very possible. Columbus is on the stage.
Thank you, Nashville. We appreciate the great time you've shown us all. Congratulations, Vegas. To a hockey lifer and a good friend, David Poyle, again, congratulations. Good man. Our fans back in Columbus, they're called the Fifth Line. They are at Pins in Easton. Have a party, gang. We appreciate y'all. To make our pick, I'd like to invite our general manager.
Oh, I hate this too. Someone talks for 2 seconds, then they go, "Oh, we're gonna bring up."
Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from University of Michigan,
Adam Fantilli. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Now Columbus gets the number one center that I think will turn their organization around. Maybe as soon as next year he might be playing. I don't see one unless he's committed to the NCAA.
I mean, he can
remember.
decommit.
Yeah.
He can decommit, but make more money. Let's go.
And I think Columbus would say if they had it their way, they would want Fantilli to play sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think they'd give him another year.
Personally, for his development, I would.
Yeah.
But I think Columbus would be saying, you know what? We're ready. Let's get him in. Let's get him up. We're ready for a quick retool. You know, they have good pieces. They're still not an old team, and this is a big piece that they're gonna build around.
Yeah. Being able to run Goudreau, Fantilli, Line for the foreseeable future, that's pretty sick.
Oh yeah, the roller hockey star. He's pretty good, isn't he? What about Marchenko, Chinikov, Sillinger, and now you add this guy, big body down the middle of the ice to help support some of
Cole
that
Sillinger there too. Kent Johnson.
Right, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Cole Sillinger third, Kent Johnson second, and Fantilli first. However you want to do it.
I can't believe Anaheim just gifted Columbus a first-line center like that.
Right?
This kid, I believe, is pro-ready. I think that he can come out of school ready.
Yeah, this is where the draft really gets interesting. Because I think everyone had these top three. I know the order was a little strange, but I think the majority of people had in the top three Bedard, Carlsson, Fantilli in some order.
Yeah.
Now is where we could see Will Smith go, like Jake says. We could see Michkov go. Like I say. We could see Zach Benson, Ryan Leonard, even like a David Reinbacher. Even like we could see all sorts of different things go on here at 4.
You want to highlight them more?
Yeah, we didn't get them right though.
The yellow one.
Yeah, huge piece
What's
to
yellow?
add to the mix there. But Fantilli is one of those guys who
No, I mean like what? Why yellow?
Oh, because we got them wrong. Or they're like they were picked.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're playing center ice, you're
Right,
the leading scorer. Now you
We
have
did
to
last
go
year.
play at the World Juniors with CHL guys. Some of them you know, but not overly familiar with. And then you're asked to play the wing. You're asked to play a little bit lower in the line.
Well, I kept the browser on. I'm a bad YouTuber.
Oops.
That's okay. We'll just get fucked by Sportsnet later. No. Yeah, read the draft start. Yeah, draft's gonna really start now. See a lot of movement.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if Ottawa makes a move here.
Yeah, I
And-
could start seeing moves too. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think about
right,
that trades could start happening.
Because I really do think that, Alex DeBrincat, get it, Ottawa wants a first round pick. Probably in the mid, 10 to 20 range, so. And I feel like, they don't usually get announced until the pick that was traded gets brought up. Like, if the 9th, if Ottawa traded for Detroit's 9th right now, for instance, then once we're done the 8th, then they'll announce it, but.
I'm wondering where it's echoing. It's coming from over there. I'm like, where did I hear that? Twitter is popping off right now.
Is that Kent Johnson wasn't allowed in?
Brad Tree Living.
Oh, Brad Tree Living.
Brad Tree Living isn't allowed on the Leafs draft floor until Calgary picks
Oh,
at 16.
okay, because otherwise it would be like, what, tampering?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be like, he has some insider information or whatever,
Right,
so he
what they're
could
gonna do.
could mess with it a little bit or whatever.
That's one of the things where I wonder what Dubas is bringing into the draft for Pittsburgh's pick, because Pittsburgh hasn't drafted first in a long time. They don't get to pick first often, and now this is where Dubas gets to build his team. And who was it? Greer. Who was it last year for San Jose? Their GM?
Mike Greer.
Mike Greer. Yeah, he became GM like right before the draft as well, and he made some really big moves to kind of like, you know, he traded the guys he wanted to trade. He made the draft. He picked the guys he wanted to pick to, like, you know, build his future. And I think that this is Dubas's opportunity. You know, does he trade down? Does he, you know, split this into 2 first-round picks? You know, what's he gonna do here? And I think that it'll be interesting to see, you know, what he'll bring from scouting with Toronto, because, you know, he had the full year to scout. If Pittsburgh had picked a different GM, would they be coming in blind and being like, shit, like, you know, I have to. I'm gonna look up Dopemon's mock draft to see who I should draft. You know, who should I be drafting?
Shoot.
You know, like,
San Jose's pick is in. Mike Greer coming up. I can move this up. I can't. Look at that. Oh.
now let's get ready to both be wrong.
Yeah, let's get ready to both be wrong.
You guys have been a great host. We've really enjoyed our time here. Congratulations to David Poyle. Great career managing. You know, someone who's been great to me and helped mentor me through along my first year. Also like to congratulate.
Yes, thank you. Yes, congratulations. Yes, thank you. Yes. I shook all your hands an hour ago. Yes, thank you.
And like to say hello and thank you to our fans watching around the world and at the SAP Center tonight. To make our pick is Sharks legend, NHL all-time games played leader,
Patty Marleau.
Patrick Marleau.
Patty Marleau making the selection.
I thought that was him in the corner.
With the first selection overall, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Will Smith.
Will Smith. I got it right.
Will Smith.
I got it right.
Yeah.
I had a good feeling.
Yeah.
There's something about his game that I feel like San Jose is missing, in that the thing he's bringing is elite skill, because San Jose does not have enough of it. And I feel like him and Eklund are going to be a good pair. It's going to be a good match.
Pretty good combo.
Yeah. And
Womp womp. Yeah, no Ryan Leonard for you.
highlight my thing.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm ripping you off here.
Thank you, Jake. I had a few. I knew it. They're just some picks that you're just like, you know.
Yeah, it fits well in Chicago, I think, for sure.
Like you last year with Bachelnikov.
Michelnikov, sometimes you just know.
Mm-hmm.
Dmitry. Do we get a trade now?
Yeah,
You know what? It makes it more likely, I think. Now that Will Smith's off the board for Montreal.
Yeah, if I were Montreal.
They're looking at Michkov and kind of questioning it. They're looking at Benson or Leonard or Moore, Pellikka, Barlow. Like Leonard would be good in Montreal.
Because, you know, I've said earlier, Michkov would be a good fit for Montreal, because who better than Martin St. Louis to get a small player, a small line, you know, a Caulfield, and, you know, like the smaller guys, who better? But what about a guy like Ryan Leonard to kind of balance out, you know, work with them? Imagine Leonard with, like, Suzuki, or Leonard with a Caulfield. Oh.
Both right wingers, right?
You can move Leonard. I think. You can move Caulfield.
Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Leonard.
Yeah, someone like that. I don't know. Something. But I feel like you'd mesh into, like, just the chemistry of Montreal pretty well, too. So for me, if I were Montreal...
Michkov, though. Michkov.
Michkov, Leonard, or trade. That's what I'd say.
Man, Matvei. I love Matvei.
Yeah, not often do you get a chance to draft, 5th overall and pick the second best player?
Yeah. There is my...
And I like Will Smith. He's not like a game changer. He ain't like, creating, doing the hard work in the corner to make things happen and the stuff and like is he always not, but are his skills up, up there with, elite NHL talent projection? Absolutely. So
It's $2 payment. Can you turn that down a bit, please? Just a smidge. Worried about it echoing here. What do you think about Matt May's feet speed?
his feet are fine.
Yeah.
His feet are fine. When you're playing, when you watch him play at the MHL level, it's just blinding. But when you watch him at the KHL level, yes, obviously compared to like his teammates on SKA in the KHL, the second best league in the entire, world of hockey, one of the best teams in that league. Of course, by comparison, he doesn't look as great sometimes, but his foot speed's going to be just all right. Especially as a smaller guy, like, you don't have to, he'll be just fine.
Yeah, their pick is in. No trade.
There's a lot to his game you need to work on, but that's just fine. That level of skill can't be passed up on, and the things that he doesn't do are because he's so good he doesn't have to do it often. So he just relies on skill. So you never see him do the things that you're kind of hoping, oh, he doesn't do enough of that. Yeah, because he doesn't have to. He's so good. He just dances around. It's like playing on rookie mode. Like on an EA NHL game, you don't have to show off how good you are at back checking because you're just laying on the goals the whole time.
They have to be selecting Michkov, right?
Yeah. If there's no trade, it has to be Michkov, right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That or Leonard. I think there's like a one.
It's gonna go to Montreal, dude. I'm so upset.
I know. If Eric.
I'm a Leafs fan.
You know who's going to score?
Why am
He's
I
going to
a
score
Leafs
4 goals in his first game.
Can you imagine?
He's going to score. Yeah.
Yeah, lemon draws. Go away, you have fan. I see you.
I really hope they
Someone
boof
ban
it.
lemon draws, please, huh?
I hope they boof it and pick like somebody dumb, like not that I think he's bad, but like goes off the board and takes
Dalibor Dvorsky or something.
Yeah, right.
Best player goes to your rival. Like, no, dude. Ugh. Montreal and Ottawa always do this to me.
Toronto does this to us.
When?
You took Niemela.
Oh, sure. All right, fine. Topi Niemela. Second round pick.
And they're going to take Simashev.
And they're going to take Zach. I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right.
I'd like to start by congratulating the Vegas Golden Knights.
My God, we
Kenny,
all know that
congratulations
Vegas
to the
won.
Vegas Golden Knights.
We all know. Is that like a surprise?
J'aimerais saluer nos partisans à Montréal.
Je ne parle pas français.
J'apprécie votre passion. To make our selection, I will invite up our former 5th overall in 2005, Carey Price.
Hey,
Carey
Carey
Price.
Price is here.
Bonsoir. Le Canadiens de Montréal are proud to select David.
Carey Price does not remember. He doesn't. Carey Price forgets.
We planned it that way. David Reinbacher.
Oh my God, what's happening? Carey, no. David forgets. We're selecting David.
David.
Guys.
Every David in the room, just stand up.
Every
David
David
Reinbacher.
David, get up here, man. REI, right?
Hugging his family right now. We actually have a mic on him, so I'm not sure he's hearing.
David Reinbacher, man.
I like David Reinbacher, but this is a little bit of a reach.
I mean, is it?
Yeah, it is.
The amount of forwards that I don't.
It
I didn't
really
see
is.
Montreal taking a defenseman.
Now, even if you need to take a D, this is a top 5 pick. I really do like David Reinbacher, but whoa.
Austrian ever to the National Hockey League. What does that mean to you?
It's incredible.
Surprised on this one too, Jake. Not gonna lie.
And this is where if you really need a D, why not draft a forward and then trade a forward for a D? You can get maybe a higher caliber defenseman by trading and moving assets differently. Like I think that this is poor asset management.
Yeah, and this is their only pick now for a while because
Yeah.
they traded 27 and 31 and 37, whatever they gave up for New Hook.
Yeah.
Because they got rid of their late first, early second,
Yeah.
and now they don't have one till the third.
Yeah.
So you gonna use this on Reinbacher?
On Reinbach. And I
mean,
do
I'm
like
down.
him because he brings a very dynamic defensive element that I think that every winning team is going to need a shutdown new age defender like David Reinbacher. But I think that they could have drafted somebody better and then made a trade to fill that kind of hole.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah.
Also means I'm 0 for 2 on my bets
Mm-hmm.
because I had under 6.5. So I was 2 picks away from cashing that in.
And I've been watching Reinbacher for years. Because he caught my attention following the Swiss National League. He plays in Switzerland. He's Austrian. And that's what caught it. I was like, okay, he's playing here. What's he doing? And watched him play at the World Juniors, not this year, but last year. So like a year and a half ago, he was playing for Austria. And I was like, wow, this guy's like a second round pick. Wait, he's in his draft -1 here. So he's still a year out, and I thought he was, ready to be a second round pick. But as a top 5 pick,
In this draft, too? Top 10, I would see, but... we both took him at 11,
mm-hmm.
knowing that he was probably going to go 12?
Arizona.
Okay, well, whatever. 12. And, knowing he was probably going to go a little higher.
Yeah.
Realistically.
I thought 7 to 12 was a good range for him.
But, yeah, it's such a forward-heavy draft.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And are they so worried that a different team could have drafted him?
Now, my biggest bet that I have for people who are betting here with me tonight is Zach Benson at 6. I was so convinced that Arizona was going to take Zach Benson. Now I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm not so sure.
Now I don't know.
You know what? I'm looking at now, they have the Canadians prospects. I forgot a lot about Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson and David Reinbacher. I gotta say that's
nice.
You have
defenseman.
Reinbacher likes to shut down in the offensive zone. He likes to deny, in the neutral zone. Great gap control. He's on ya. Uses his stick and his reach. So to knock the puck loose and knock it to a guy like Lane Hudson, who can get it into the offensive zone and create some chances. You get Suzuki on the wing. You get Caulfield hanging on the wing. You get all this dynamic. I do feel like Reinbacher is the right fit for Montreal. I do think his style of play works. I think a little bit of a reach of a pick, though, still.
What does Zona do now? Should I say Zona State Coyotes? Yeah, Arizona State Coyotes are going to take Zach Benson. I'm talking into existence.
They picked Arizona last year, reached in the second round. Do you remember who they reached for? Big power play guy? Defenseman?
Artem Duda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they willing to reach maybe they're like, hey, I'm willing to draft out of Russia.
Yeah,
Arizona's a
they're
team
not
that,
afraid.
hey, by the time that Michkov plays for Arizona, maybe they're not in Arizona anymore. Who knows?
Yeah,
Okay, not another reach, but it wouldn't be a reach because Michkov is the second best. But are they willing to take a chance? But disregard the Russia factor. Clearly they're willing to draft out of Russia. I think Duda was a big indicator of that, and Duda went over Grudinin, which is incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I remember that.
is Michkov? Oh, another reach. Oh, maybe.
Oh, is it a reach here, you mean? Okay, yeah.
Well, if
mean,
it's
man,
not
I don't
Michkov, it has to be. Or Benson.
I try to handicap the NHL draft all the time. I'm bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
It always throws me off.
All right, the pick is
Pick
in.
is in for Arizona here.
On behalf of the Arizona Coyotes, we'd like to congratulate the Vegas Knights on winning the Stanley Cup.
We know
To
Vegas
congratulate
won.
the Vegas Golden Knights.
Wow, thank you. I didn't know. I completely forgot.
Fans for hosting us this week.
As head of scouting for the Coyotes.
At Wasted Grain in Scottsdale.
Like people.
Selection, I'd like to invite
Yeah, seriously.
Yikes, Jake, from the top rope. 5 people at
The
that.
Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Lokomotiv Yaroslavl Dmitry
Simashev. Yes, Dmitry Simashev, who is just as happy as the look on his face. Yes, Jason.
No!
I am happy. I'm very happy. Yep, there you go. Okay, now, do I want to see him going to what I consider to be a meh, destination like Arizona? No, but am I happy that he doesn't go to Toronto?
You had me convinced. Dude.
I was so worried that
You had
Simashev
me
was going to go
so
to Toronto.
convinced.
I know.
Fuck.
These are the 2 best defensemen in the draft going back to back.
I'm like, Locomotive? Who's playing a Locomotive? And it took me a second to
Daniel, was
realize.
either him or Daniel Booth.
Yeah, but it took me a second. I'm like, that's not where Michkov plays.
No.
Wow.
Hey, I was right. They are willing to draft out of Russia. Yes. Yeah. Well, Washington's sitting there sweating like, do we get Michkov?
Is Washington gonna get Michkov?
And Marishnichenko.
And Ovi, Marishnichenko, and Mitchell.
Yeah.
What's happening? Oh
But
no.
but for real though, like
Oh, no.
the idea of neither,
I had him here, and you had him.
and also Reinbacher at 12.
I already did that.
Marishnichenko and Michkov together would be a deadly combo. Because Marishnichenko is a more typical, straight line, north-south, good shot, good pass, all skill, physical. Plays a little bit like Ovechkin, and Michkov obviously is just dynamic ball of thunder. Yeah, Jason, he is a good guy. I've been following him for a few years now. He's a shutdown defender, but like the new age style of shutdown defender where he likes to beat the opposing team in the offensive zone. He'll end plays before they happen, likes to cut players off. His gap control is really good, beats plays in the neutral zone. Like, he denies things before they even get into his own defensive zone. Typically, defensive defensemen are really keen in their own zone. Maybe they back up a little bit harder. But Reinbacher, he loves to pinch hard, pinch early. He's really good at using his long reach, good mobility, to shut down early and quick. And I think that he's going to make a great D partner for Lane Hutson, because Reinbacher's the kind of guy who, the sooner you shut down the opposing attack, the quicker you get that puck turned around. I don't think Reinbacher has the offensive ability to really turn that kind of game around, but he can deny the opposing offense, turn over the puck, get it to Lane Hutson, who then creates the kind of, offensive chance that you're hoping for. And I think that he'd pair well with a guy, like Caulfield, Suzuki going forward and stuff. And we'll see. So yeah, Jason, if you're a Montreal fan, you do have a lot to be happy for, because I think Reinbacher is going to pair well. He's going to fit in really well with Montreal. I've been watching him for a long time. He played at the World Juniors last year. That's where he really caught my attention. He was a draft -1 kind of guy, and I thought he was pretty good even then.
Sorry, I haven't been listening to a word you said. I'm flabbergasted at Dmitry Simashev being 6th, and I'm kind of zoning out.
I had him in my personal ranking of 7.
Appreciate it, Jason. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Zach saying Michkov won't fall past Washington. I would be shocked if he fell past.
Yeah.
I would have said I was shocked now. It's 6. 6 picks have gone by, and 2 defensemen have been picked. Does that make people freak out and take Axel Sandin-Pellikka? Do you think? Because there's like a lack of defensemen now.
Ooh, you know what? Yeah, every time a defenseman gets taken, you have to look at the next one. Tom Willander. He must be looking at this, like cracking his knuckles, like, yo, I'm gonna be drafted.
Tom Willander, Axel Sandin-Pellikka,
Mikhail Gulyayev.
and Gulyayev.
And those are the 3 big defensemen that are really on this board right now left. And those 3, there's 29 more picks.
If you want to take a defenseman,
3 deep.
You might be buggered here. You might, some of these guys might not fall to you. If you're expecting Simashev or Reinbacher to be in like the teens for you, you might go, oh shit. Changes our plans.
Right now you're picking Gulyayev.
We're from Southern Ontario, Jason.
Toronto.
Toronto's kind of broad, but from
Toronto.
From Toronto. Outside of the city, but no, I'm not from Toronto. Don't loop me in.
I'm from Toronto.
He's from Toronto. I'm from north of Toronto. We don't associate with them. Hockey guys talking about music during his live stream. Thank you for actually talking about the draft. More people need to watch. Hello from Buffalo. Hey man, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love the hockey guys streams. I tune in every once in a while, but he does go off the rails every once in a while.
I don't watch his live
He
streams.
does go off the rails.
Yeah, Philly's pick is in. They seem to be moving a little bit quicker.
Yeah, we had a commercial break. Here's Danny Briere. The 2 defensemen have been drafted so fast. The other D are going to come sooner. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah, teams are going to freak out and go, oh shoot, and then draft Sandin-Pellikka a little higher than we would have thought. Maybe. We'll see.
Flyers would like to thank the city of Nashville for their outstanding hospitality.
All right.
We've had a very
Montreal
good time,
fan
and it's
from
gonna
New
get
York.
more fun.
Nice.
Oh, upstate, right?
Thank David Poyle. He was my general manager with the Washington Capitals. Drafted me in 1988 in the 7th round.
Yeah, I'm the Leafs fan. He's actually the Sens fan, but he forgot his jersey. Like a dum-dum. So we're rocking the Leafs jersey behind him.
With the seventh selection of the draft, the Flyers are proud to select from St. Petersburg in the KHL, Matvei Michkov.
Michkov, there he goes. It really fell to Philly. They couldn't say no. How many times can you bet, He's got his whole family there, giving him the high fives. Congratulations, Michkov. Nope. No T.
Wow. I don't type for a living or anything.
Yeah, Washington. Yeah, they're sitting there now like,
Well, they're so mad.
There goes Michkov and Simashev.
Michkov is gone.
We both have more. I think Benson's an option.
Now that we're here, Oliver Moore is still kicking around. Zach Benson, Ryan Leonard. Our top 5's gone. Spelling is hard. All these Russian, European names, sometimes it just throws you out. Torts probably won't be the coach in 3 seasons, but I don't see him being a good fit for Michkov. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good point.
Poor hockey fans. Yeah, you have no idea.
Toronto and Ottawa's teams.
We sit there and like we fight Battle of Ontario, and really like we're the actual losers. We're both losing here.
There are no winners in Toronto and Ottawa. That's true. let us have the odd win.
This is big for Philly. This is a like I don't think people are. If you're a Philly fan right now, you're watching. You're like, okay, no, like this is a big deal. Like this is like organization turning. You know, like this is
a legit player.
Yeah, like Matvei Michkov is your star for the future. You guys, if you're a Philly, Flyers fan here, you got to be so happy right now.
Sabres fans, no, I'm sorry. Sabres are on the up though. Sabres are. I think it's. Yeah. It's coming to an end soon. Sabres fans, I think within the next couple of years you'll be back into it. Michkov is the next Jimmy Carlsson. Okay. Michkov's nameplate is falling off the back of his jersey.
They did not know that they would get this chance.
They're like, oh shit, and they ironed it on really fast and fucked it up.
Oh, they're showing his Michigan.
Oh no, the Michie.
Oh. And look, watch his feet in that goal.
Yeah.
Watch his feet here.
Yeah. His footwork is incredible. He's got a low center of gravity, smaller player. Look at this. Ripped. That overpowered the goalie. That wasn't the goalie's fault. That overpowered him.
And like
Snipe.
With him hunched over, he's reaching, and he gets the perfect wrist shot.
Yeah, he still gets so much power on it, and like the weirdest. The dude can shoot from anywhere and shoot hard from anywhere.
Is that a picture of Ivan Miroshnichenko?
Is that Michkov?
They do not have a picture of him. That's a picture of a different person. Yeah, see, that's Ivan Miroshnichenko.
That was Ivan Miroshnichenko.
They showed the wrong picture.
That wasn't Matvei Michkov. Pens fans got lucky getting 87. Yeah, 100%. I mean, they won the legitimate draft lottery. Remember how that worked?
Yeah.
Because the season was canceled prior, they took the previous season's standings and then threw everyone in a bucket. And Pittsburgh, they spat Pittsburgh out.
Yeah.
Live about 5 minutes away from a border. I'm an hour and 10 from Bell Center. Go to about 10 games a year.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude. I don't get to nearly as much Leaf games as I would like to, mainly because they're Toronto and it's impossible to get tickets there.
And who wants to even go down, like, to downtown? ACC sucks.
Where you play F? Michkov, you mean? Barry, he plays in Russia for SKA St. Petersburg or Sochi this year.
Yeah, he was on loan to Sochi.
If that's what you mean.
And he's good.
He's really good. He's really good.
I feel like Philly probably wanted to take a center, but Michkov's good. Like, he real good. In Philadelphia,
when did Philly get Helge Grans?
Is that what they said?
He's a top prospect. Oh, I'm stupid. He just got traded there. What was the trade again? Can't remember.
Ivan Provorov.
Oh, it was the Provorov trade. I'm not crazy though. He wasn't initially drafted by.
No, this is New York. I think
He traded twice.
I think I guessed that one correct in our 2020, but I got the wrong pick. Right team.
Right.
Where I think I had him going to New York at like 25, and he went to New York at 39 or 34. I'm like, huh. Yeah, what's up?
Come to Buffalo games against the Leafs, it'll feel like a home game. Yeah. Buddy of mine goes to every Leafs Buffalo game, I think every year. He goes every single time, swears by it. I have yet to go with him, but probably will in the next couple of years. But yeah, Toronto travels well. Toronto fans travel well. I think that's why everyone hates us.
Yeah, I'm a Sens fan, and watching Leafs Sens games, Leafs fans are willing to drive 5 hours to get to Ottawa and show up, and they will. So they should.
We show up everywhere, man. We're crazy. Who's Washington?
Washington is in. Who do you guys think? Let us know down below. I like Zach Benson, but I don't
For
know if he's
Washington?
Washington's pick.
Yeah, I know, for Washington.
You know, maybe if I were Washington, maybe just given that they've kind of been in decline, just take the best guy, take Zach Benson, let it be. Don't overthink it. Don't try to big brain who's gonna mix their match. Just take Benson because he's best. But
Dvorsky, I like Dvorsky. It's a good one.
But
yeah, and other reasons, yeah. We're not gonna list the amount of reasons people hate Toronto.
And congratulate him on an outstanding career.
Never heard about Toronto.
With the 8th pick, Washington selects Ryan Leonard from the U.S.
Ryan Leonard. Yeah, you know, okay, if you're... I had this thought like 5 seconds ago. I was like, you know what? Ryan Leonard would be a great fit to learn from a guy like Tom Wilson.
Hey, it's
so
good,
like,
yeah.
you know, if you're hoping to get that Matthew Tkachuk type game out of Ryan Leonard, you want that grittiness and toughness. Let a guy like Tom Wilson teach him how to use his body, how to be tough, how to be physical and aggressive effectively to change the game, because that's exactly what the new age kind of grit winger, center guy, kind of like Ryan Leonard.
That's what everyone compares him to.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to compare him to Tom Wilson. You might as well start with it.
Yeah. So there you go.
And that means I won that bet. Yeah, over 8.5. That was the last pick they could have made, so I won $17. Good for me.
And if you're a Caps fan, you got to be sitting here looking at like Tom Wilson and Alexander Ovechkin getting replaced by like Ryan Leonard and Ivan Baryshnichenko, and be pretty happy at least with the future that you have in Washington. They've drafted pretty well, considering that they're a team that's just fallen out of playoffs. They're clearly not going to get in. I don't think so next year, but you've got a guy like Ovechkin who's in his last few years, and he really wants to win in those last few years. He's probably not going to get the chance to, but they have to look for the future, and they're doing a pretty good job drafting, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, they're taking some good guys. Detroit on the clock here. We both have... No, we don't. I have Colby Barlow. You have Sandin-Pellikka. Zach Benson and Oliver Moore still on the board. What do you think?
I think
Moore and Larkin. Oh my God, the skating.
Yeah, and
Skate
maybe a guy like I was thinking maybe more, but I think I'm gonna stick with Axel Sandin-Pellikka just because I'm.
Oh, you're sticking with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with the Swedes going to Detroit, and that's just that forever now.
Zach Benson still hasn't gone. Could be a guy.
I don't know if they need him.
Benson, Larkin, Raymond for the future. It's a pretty solid line. That's a pretty solid line. Okay, I didn't mute it. I have Colby Barlow. I don't know. Maybe. Detroit makes this pick for Ottawa. Yeah? Think you're going to trade it? They're on the clock now.
They're on the clock.
The 9th pick, though, that's so huge for DeBrincat.
Yeah, that would be pretty big, but I was expecting something in the teens because you do have to re-sign DeBrincat. It's a lot. It's a big trade.
It is a big trade.
And you're going to lose a little bit of value because the team that's trading for him has to want him for the next 6 to 8 years or whatever they signed him for.
Eisenman was just yelling at someone from across the room. So, question mark?
No deal.
He's standing up and he doesn't have to yet. Like, the pick hasn't been made yet.
He was calling up Pierre Dorian over.
Yeah, come here. Yeah. My favorite draft GM interaction was always was Brian Burke and Brian Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Nazem Kadri draft in 2009? I could tell you this story every year. You never remember. Was Murray, Ottawa picked 9th, I think, that year, and Toronto picked 7th.
Yeah.
And Brian Burke went over, is like, who you want at 9? And Brian Murray goes, we want Kadri.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, I'm taking him at 7. And he walks away. Murray was sitting there like,
okay, now.
Well, that's a question. That's a question, Bill.
Cool. Imagine trading Carlsson for DeBrincat. But he just doesn't vibe. He won the Norris. I love Erik Karlsson, but I don't expect him to ever again be as good as he was this year. This was the best he will ever be for the rest of his life. He had his last great year. He may have
still gonna have good years.
He's gonna have good ones.
As long as he stays healthy. That's always been his issue.
None of them will be as good as this one. Let's be honest. I'm sorry. I love the man, but like,
what'd you do if he's a Leaf next year?
Carlsson?
Yeah. There's been a lot of rumors connecting him to Toronto.
Half retained and
then retained by Chicago and a bunch of picks and prospects and all this going around, and ends up being a $4 million defenseman for 4 years.
There's always a rumor that everybody goes to Toronto. So
yeah, that's true.
All right,
Everyone's
pick is in.
always
It
connected.
is not being traded. Detroit will be picking now.
7th straight year with a top 10 pick. Remember when they didn't have one for 10 straight years?
Oh, yeah. For 20 years.
Yeah, too long. I've only got Connor Bedard correct so far.
Yeah.
Just looking at this draft board like, ooh. It stinks.
It hurts a little.
It's too much yellow. Oh no.
First, I'd like to congratulate David Poyle, fantastic general manager, fantastic person, and a great friend on a tremendous career. Also, I'd like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on a Stanley Cup championship.
Yes, wow, Vegas won? I didn't know.
Whoa.
Wow.
The Red Wings select
Wow.
Brandon Wheat-Kings.
I gotta congratulate them every time.
Who'd they just pick?
Oh, oops, I missed it.
I heard Brandon Wheat-Kings.
Nate Danielson?
Nate Danielson.
Nate Danielson. Yeah, Brandon Wheat-Kings, I immediately knew. Good for them. You know what? It is a reach. I don't think that Nate Danielson is a first-line center kind of guy. There's some names left on the board. But what Nate Danielson does bring on and off the ice, as far as like leadership and it's got an interesting suit on.
Like it.
I do think that he's a very unique player that if you think that you need... I had him going to Chicago at, 15 something?
I had him at 15.
19, yeah.
You had him at 19.
I had him going to Chicago because my thing was Chicago needs the leadership. They need a guy who commits. They need a guy who's there. And, even if he's not going to be a first-line center, does Detroit, are they in a spot in their rebuild where they can say, yes, we can draft for need. And we need a guy who... We don't need, a guy to replace Dylan Larkin. We need a guy who to keep our team together, keep our roster cohesive. A center who can play with anybody up and down the whole roster, roll 4 lines. He's a guy who can play. He's a guy who's going to compete. He's a guy who's going to lead his line mates. And Detroit, hey, if that's what they need, then they go for it. Dopemon chat would like to congratulate the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Yo. Absolutely. There's been a big banner at every turn. We'd like to congratulate Vegas Golden Knights and David Poyle. Okay.
And
because everyone has.
Yeah. And I almost don't want to call this pick a reach because
it's player a reach, but barely a reach. I
I
wouldn't call it a massive reach. I think that's what Jake said.
In the sense that players were left on the board, but there's any justification for any team, to be making this pick because I think Danielson will fit on any team.
The Vegas Golden Knights would like to thank Vegas. Yo.
Congratulations to us.
Get out of here with that. Congratulations to me. Yo, that's funny, dude.
Did you highlight Danielson?
I did, yeah.
And watching him play, he doesn't have, is it the best wrist shot? No. But he's shooting at the right time.
He's all around good.
Yeah, he's just, overall, just...
He's good, I think, for Detroit. Yeah. He has a lot of high-end talent and needs those guys, I think.
Like, a guy with...
Guy of the future who could
play with Zadina.
Yeah,
because Zadina's so good, but isn't working. And a guy like Danielson, like, he will just play good with anybody. He'll get Zadina to score 25 goals a season consistently. Whoever he pairs, is on the line with. And I think he's going to be able to keep just this Detroit, who's a bunch of pieces that I feel like their plan for what their roster was so clear a few years ago, but it's not quite working, and they're going to revisit, and they need a few more pieces, and Danielson's the kind of guy.
Not quite a Tyler Boucher reach.
No, not
quite.
How would you bring that up? How would you bring that
I'm
up?
gonna bring that up every year for the rest of the time because it was funny.
It is.
I need to clip it and repost it to the channel. Just watch you
going,
lose your soul for a second. Like, oh,
Paul Sillinger was on the board.
He was. A lot of players were on the board.
Post-traumatic draft disorder.
No. I can't. Normally I could mute you or something. And
send me
for videos and put you in the penalty box. I can't right now. Puts it in your chat. 10 for St. Louis. Does Zach Benson feel like St. Louis to you? Not really.
Zach Benson to St. Louis?
To the St. Louis Blues? I don't know.
Lemon Draws has a solution to your muting problem.
What?
Ooh, Colby Barlow. He'd be good for St. Louis. I'd love that for St. Louis. I don't know Zach Benson, but you know what, though? Benson's good enough to... He's another guy like Danielson that I feel like would just fit on any team. You can look at anybody on this list after Bedard, and you're like, I picked Zach Benson. You're like, okay. Like, he is a guy, he fights in the corner, across 200 feet of ice. He's making an impact. Is he the absolute most elite skilled? No, but he's really good at a lot of the things he does that a lot of the skilled guys don't, or the skilled guys aren't as good as Benson is. So I think he might be, of all the players in this draft, the most well-rounded kind of guy. He's my pick for like all-round, well-round, at least for wingers, because Connor Bedard.
Good two-way. Yeah, that's your point. Good two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
Someone from the St. Louis crew was just harassing the Ottawa table. I don't know who that was, but Colby Barlow be good. Dalibor Dvorsky.
That'd be a fun pick.
I guess I should scroll down on my. There.
Yeah.
Because we both had Dvorsky, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
I think he's gonna drop.
I thought that kid was wearing a Sabres.
Hey, Dvorsky.
Yeah, they took Dalibor Dvorsky.
Let's go. We're both right.
And this is where you get another one.
I get another one. Yay!
And this is where you can really bank on when you know a guy will fit into a team. I feel like St. Louis must have done, 50 drafts, and they're looking at who's here: Benson, Moore, Barlow, Dvorsky, Pellikka, Wood, Yeager. And they're like, you know what? Dvorsky's the guy that we thought we'd get. They knew, hey, he's going to fit our system. He's just going to work. And they made the right choice, I think, even given Benson on the board still.
I was literally about to say, I think he's a candidate to drop just for no reason.
Yeah.
But there you go. St. Louis steals him away.
And this is the first player from Slovakia this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You were saying, I watched your top 50 back, and you were saying at the time that you liked Dvorsky better than Juraj Slafkovsky last year.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Just the way he played, the way that he was showing for Team Slovakia at the time. This was a year ago.
Yeah.
Just played. I don't know, his skill level, his potential was just much higher, I think is what you said.
Yeah. He was playing better a year
younger than
Slavkovsky was, and his skill was more impressive, his speed, his feet, he was just a better player, and I'm like, wow, he's better than Uri Slavkovsky. And to look back now at last year's draft and look at this pick and that pick and be like, yeah, well, as far as, obviously as an international team for Slovakia, be happy, but for St. Louis, if you want to make a comparison for Slovakians, like, hey, like, we got a pretty good draft prospect here, and I think that when Dvorsky's at his best, he's going to be fighting for that 1B center position. And there are absolutely some flaws he has, but especially in a team like St. Louis that can roll 2 first kind of lines, 2 second lines, he's going to have the pressure of, I want to be the number 1, and that's going to make him better. It's going to light a fire under his ass. He's going to say, look, I'm second, I need to be first, or the guy's coming up, I need more ice time, he's gonna fight for his space, he's gonna fight for his role on the team, and I think for St. Louis it's just gonna fit. And I'd still, going back to my mock draft back in July, almost a year ago at this point, I'd agree and say I'd still take Dvorsky over Slavkovsky, or watching clips of him now, and it's like, Slavkovsky doesn't have that patience with the puck.
He made a fun comparison in a few years, for sure. But Vancouver on the clock now. Second Canadian team. Vancouver, I think, needs to hit on this.
Yeah.
They need to hit on this pick so bad.
There's so many good players, and they're like, okay. Pick a guy from the 3rd round.
Andrew Crystal. What? Can you imagine they reach so far in Tyler
Alexander Rykov, who was missing from your 2nd round.
Yeah,
Roman
he's a fringe.
Kanserov.
A fringe.
Dopemon fans, if you're watching, I watched Ryan's 2nd round and I have a lot of disagreements. I really should have done one. I like Roman Kanserov, but he is not. He's good because he is the oldest. He's born in September 17th. So he was always a year ahead of a lot of guys, and his stats were always ahead, so he's always seen as, hey, this is the best Russian in this draft year, just because he was a little bit older. But once his draft year came around, it kind of exposed that he was relying a little bit too much on skill and being better, and now he isn't as much better. I think that his development has stagnated a little bit. That's a guy I've been watching him for years now, so...
Nice pick since drafting Vasily Podkolzin. Jake Colin, come on up. Wrong Lind, I think. Callan Lind, right?
Callan.
I have him somewhere.
Yeah.
Callan. I am going to Buffalo.
Sandin-Pellikka? You know what? That's very possible. You have that right. I think one of us is going to be right here. You do. I think one of us is going to be right over Barlow or Pellikka.
Vancouver is the team that freaks out and panics and takes
and their pick is in.
Yeah, pick is in.
They really do need to make the right choice.
Let us know in the chat who you got here. It's your chance to be right.
It's your chance to, in 10 years go back and say, look, guys, I was right.
I picked that.
I commented on this fringe YouTube channel's draft live stream.
We're nothing but self-aware at Dopemon.
Yeah.
Axel Sandin-Pellikka, yeah. That's who I have.
Yeah. I have a few,
part of me is he's too much like Quinn Hughes, but the other part of me is no, give me more.
Right, yeah. Look, 2 lines of...
Yeah, 2 of them. Wow. Right?
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah. Spider-Man meme, Quinn Hughes and Sandin-Pellikka.
I'd like to thank the Vegas Golden Knights.
Vancouver Canucks are proud to select from Rögle, Swedish Junior League, Tom Willander.
Tom Willander. Whoa, okay. I was a little bit higher on Tom Willander than I think you were.
Yes.
He is, after Reinbacher, he's the second smartest in this draft. as far as like hockey IQ, people don't like that, but the way he reads the game, the way he sees it, I like Tom Melander. I'm going to Nashville.
Wow.
You know what though? This is, if we're talking about D in Vancouver and picking pairings and stuff, this is.
They took the Swedish D anyway.
Yeah, right. Tom Melander.
Tom Melander was picked before Zach Benson and Oliver Moore.
Yeah.
Wow.
There must be something that the guys are seeing in Zach Benson maybe they don't like.
This draft is so good, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, this draft is deep, man.
Guys are taking Tom Melander. Yeah. 3 defensemen taken in the top 11.
Yeah.
I did not predict that.
No, your prediction's right there.
Yes. This is the thing. Love to see the Sabres get Benson with Savoy. Oh, yo, that's a good point.
That's
I like
a great combo.
2 Winnipeg Ice boys.
Because they've played together, and oh man, the chemistry right off the bat, that would be huge.
All right, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I'm into that, Bill. I like it.
Yeah.
Got to get through Arizona, and I had Arizona taking Benson at 6.
Yeah, right. So, same.
You gotta
pass on Benson twice.
They gotta get through here.
And really, I think Benson is the best choice for Arizona. They really do need a guy, a 200-foot kind of guy, you know, makes the team better in every aspect.
Yeah, take someone from your second round mock.
Cohen Zimmer.
Cohen Zimmer. Actually, like, not a bad player.
No, not a bad. He's actually pretty good. You know what? Like,
Bradley Nadeau. Someone like that, they're just like, screw it, we're taking the high pro point scoring BCHL kid. It's Gator Tom Melander, man. Not physical. I wouldn't call him not physical. I mean, he's not like Radko Gudas out there or anything, but he'll put the body. He's more of like a hitter in the sense that, like, I'm going to separate you from the puck kind of hitter.
Yeah,
not like big open ice body check hitter.
Yeah.
Crystal sounds good for AZ, yeah.
I'd be worried.
High upside. I mean, Arizona can take guys. Like, they have a lot of picks. So when's Arizona's next pick?
Nashville's NSH.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
NSH?
Yes. Nash. Not Naz.
Nish. Yeah? Yeah. That's lame.
I know. I think.
I'm changing them all now. Because you complained. Is it NAS or NSH, guys? Which one looks more right? I don't know.
I don't like Quentin Musty. Everybody hyped him up. Everybody, NSH.
Dang it!
Everybody hyped up Quentin Musty, and then I got to watch him at the Hlinka Gretzky tournament. And at Hlinka, the U.S. doesn't send their U.S. national team development program players. They only send guys who are like outside the program. That's why they sent William Whitelaw. That's why they sent Quentin Musty. And so I was hoping, Quentin Musty's going to be able to like lead this Hlinka team. I'm going to see a lot of Quentin Musty. I'm going to see a lot of, one of the better Americans who's not in the U.S. national team development program. And then I watched him play, and I'm like, this is it. Like, I was not impressed. And then I'm like, okay, maybe it's just something about the U.S. team and the chemistry. I'll go watch him play in Sudbury. And I'm like, man, this is the same player. I'm just not. At a certain point, I was like, okay, like, I kind of gave up on really expecting more. I see the potential. Yep. He's got a little bit of everything. I think he has he leaves me wanting more, because I know he can be more physical. I know he can shoot harder. I know he can skate harder, but he's just not. And I can't put a guy like that outside, like, inside my top 20. He's, the 20 to 40 range, maybe. If you really like him, you think you can get the best out of him. You trust your development team and scouting and staff and whatever, and you think that, hey, I can get the best out of Musty, but for me, I wouldn't pick him in my first round personally.
You and I differ on Musty. So the one guy in this draft I think we differ the most on.
Yeah.
Zach Benson at 12 would make me feel better of taking Simmons at 7-6. Results would be they're basically in each other's spots. That's a good point. If you had flipped them at the beginning of the day, it would have made more sense.
Though don't be mad about Simashev.
From Yaroslavel, Daniel Boot.
Daniel Boot.
What's going on?
Do not laugh at the name, because Daniel is 6'5" or 6'6" and will beat the crap out of you. There are not many people at his size that are acrobats. But he is. He's an acrobat. I think he's a little bit...
Wow.
What he has in raw athleticism, he lacks.
His hands are butts.
Chat's popping off.
Yes. God damn it, chat.
What he has in pure acrobatic skill, he lacks in hockey IQ.
Yeah.
I think that
this is a reach.
This is the second year in a row that Arizona has reached on a Russian.
Yeah.
Last year, I was talking about it earlier, Artem Duda, the power play defensive specialist. This year, Daniel Boot. I think Boot could absolutely prove to be good enough to earn 12th overall, because he has the physical ability to do so. But can a team get him to fully, learn the game? And oftentimes I'll be watching him play, and he'll put himself just in a good position, and the puck will be between his legs, and he just doesn't shoot. Bad decision making.
It could be
just kind of
he's 6'5" at 17, 18 years old. It could be like he's just not grown into himself.
No, it's the opposite. He is grown into himself. He's fully physically. He's like an acrobat.
Look at him though. He's a twig.
Right, he looks like a twig. He looks lanky, but when you see him, he's quick. He's mobile. He dances on the ice. He's really quick. He's a great skater. But he just doesn't have great decision making. I feel like he's always missing the puck or something. He's not shooting when he should. He doesn't see the puck. He's just not great at hockey. I feel like he'd be an amazing football player. He's got the physicality, but he doesn't have the mental side of the hockey game.
Did I call someone from your second round mock? You were really close. You were really, really close. We both he had him at 30 and I had him at 31. So that's as close as you can get to calling in our second round. You notice here, though, how Alex's picks just stop.
Yeah, I didn't do my...
It's so strange, dude. It's so, that's weird. They just go away.
I didn't need 2 months perfect.
Dang, yeah, I was close, dude. I'd have been the call of the day so far, Slacker. Exactly. I've been giving it to him for 2 days. You'll never be able to be like, I would have had. No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
You didn't have him.
No, I didn't have him. Didn't have him.
You'll never be able to say that.
No, I did last year though.
Oh yeah,
for years.
For years, you always are harassing me to make a top whatevers. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna stop at 32. What? Watch both your mocks. Great content. Appreciate it, Bill. Thanks, man. I don't normally do one by myself. It was weird. Normally I have Alex to bounce off of. I didn't know where to go with it.
Yeah, if you look at past years, we've done mock drafts. 2020 was our first one.
Yeah.
And then in 2022, I started to really lean into it. And all year I did started off with doing 160.
Yeah, you did a crazy.
Yeah, I did a full 5 rounds or something right before the draft as well. I did a mid-season rankings that were a lot of them too. I don't even remember how many.
It was a lot. It was like most of the draft.
And then I also had scouting reports on the top Russian players, but I didn't have as much time this year. Apologies. I definitely will have more time for the 2024 draft. That's just, life gets in the way. We're both small hockey YouTubers that do not make enough money for this.
No, we don't do this full time. This is just our fun hobby. So sometimes it's, got to work way too much.
Yeah.
And that was a struggle for us this year from the content perspective. But we're going to hopefully do a little bit more content in the next, hopefully the next 12 months, a little better than the last 12 months. Hey guys, BPA or organizational need? Best player available. Okay. In the first round and in the top of the first round, best player available. 100%. But once you get further and further into the draft, and I'd say about the third, fourth round, as that's when you start picking individualized players and guys you really like and skill sets you really, this guy's got really good this, but he doesn't know how to skate yet, so we're going to teach him how to skate, and you're trying to teach him, the extra thing. That's when you start, I think, going for more organizational need, but otherwise, for me, best player available until, pick 30.
Yeah, that would be my philosophy. If I were a GM, I'd probably be going best player available for the first round and a half, but if you're asking our rankings are a little bit of a mix because...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my rankings aren't even rankings. These are more of like a mock draft by team because I did do a little bit of what I think team need, team want, and team like. Like, we both had a strong feeling about Dvorsky to St. Louis. That was just in my head. I knew it right there. So,
felt like someone that St. Louis would take, fits well. Everything we've heard on whatever source is telling us that they like players like that, or they're based on their draft history. They don't normally take players from X or Y country, and the things below us aren't. I wouldn't call those our personal rankings. Yeah. Next year definitely change that to mock or whatever. Ryan's mock.
We definitely both put Michkov as the second best player. Yeah. Oh, and Buffalo's picking.
Winnipeg, hey!
Yeah, Zach Benson.
Yeah, who said it? Someone said it.
Bill
said it, right?
The chat here, yeah.
Bill, you're on a freaking roll, dude.
Yeah, dude, buy a lottery ticket, man.
Yeah, I love the Sabres skip Benson with Savoy, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Now, Benson ought to be happy, too, because this is good for him, man.
Finally goes. Oops. Everything just goes away. Yeah, that's a great pick for them, dude. Never thought he would. Me neither.
Yeah, Buffalo ought to be really happy right now, being able to get a guy that already has chemistry with Matthew Savoy. When they both do get into the NHL together, this is you're looking at a power play, kind of unit right there. Like there's half of it.
I love this pick for Buffalo, honestly. Yeah. I really like.
I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Are you jealous?
I'm
a little bit jealous. I'm sitting there like, damn, like as a Sens fan, also going through, also going through the the motions of retooling. Yeah, I missed out on a big butt. You missed out on butt, man. Yeah, it's not the first time I've missed out on a big butt.
I should really have put the teams in the thing, actually. Now that I think about it.
Oh.
There's space.
Whatever.
I should really have done that. But.
Yeah. Zach Benson probably has the biggest smile in the draft today. If we're gonna go by, we like to rank players by who has the coolest name. Like Quentin Musty, best name. Is he the best player? Pfft, whatever. I don't give. Who cares? He's got the best name. Best smile, Zach Benson. And really, like if you're an organization like Buffalo, you're retooling, going more of a rebuild. Like decades-long rebuild if you're Buffalo. Zach Benson's the kind of guy, 200 feet of ice, he's an impact player. He's, hard back checks hard, fights in the corners hard, he's skilled with a stick. He's going to be just fine, and if you're Buffalo, he's the kind of guy that will bring you in not only just into the playoffs, but help you win a playoff series. you're a Buffalo fan, you got to be happy and look at him and say, hey, he's the kind of guy that you're going to be looking to in those Game 6, Game 7s in the playoffs, because he's going to be fighting and doing the dirty work and getting to a guy like Matthew Savoy. Yeah, 4 forwards, 1 D, all game. Yeah. Pittsburgh is on the board. Kyle Dubas with his first pick as a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Jersey Devils. Oh,
good draft so far. Every team kind of getting what they want. Oftentimes, you know what, I've kind of noticed over the years that teams have gone from picking the best to picking a little bit more for need.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think just scouting has evolved so much. There's Dubas. Let's go. As a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Yeah, that teams have their own opinion more.
Yeah, they're really dialing it in, the scouting. And there's all sorts of numbers and analytics that we don't see. Yeah. And, you know, that they have access to as NHL teams.
And the money to, like, when we look at a lot of these amateur scouts, they're only tracking 5 games for a lot of these players. When they're getting their advanced stats and their heavy analytics and they're creating these charts about players, it's like you look at games tracked 5. You know, okay, like these NHL teams...
They have every single one.
Every game, everything tracked, so, you know, they're going to be more accurate.
Are you glad Dubas is gone? I think it's a loss for the Leafs. About
to come up.
Good question.
We'll see.
The great career of Nashville Predators general manager David Poyle. Not only
depends on this pick.
It depends on the pick, yeah.
But a great mentor to young general managers getting into the game. Thank you, David. With the 14th selection in the 2023 NHL Entry Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the Moose Jaw Warriors, Braden Yeager.
Braden Yeager. Ooh.
Leave it to Dubas, man, to pick one of my favorite players out of this draft.
Okay, you know what? How much you want to bet? How much you guys want to bet? They give him his 9 games. And they put him right on the wing with Crosby, right on the wing with Malkin. Because this kid can score. He can put the puck in the back of the net. He can let it rip. He is accurate. He can score. With Malkin. With Malkin. Damn. This is, if you're
he might be in the NHL sooner rather than later just for that.
And like just for that, if Pittsburgh, you know, they want to turn something around, light a little bit of energy, put him on the wing with Malkin, because Malkin is an incredible playmaker. He'll get in the puck and he'll rip it. Look at.
To answer your question, Bill, I'm on the side. I'm a Dubas fan more than, you know. I haven't agreed with everything he's done, but I think on the whole he did good things for Toronto, and it's I don't have really an opinion on Brad Treliving, but
Kyle Doofus.
Okay,
no,
I can't. Dude, I'm so happy I don't have to deal with like the extreme Dubas haters anymore. Oh my god, it's so annoying sometimes. Every move he makes, just out of principle. And these are Leafs fans, which pissed me off even more. Because like, how can you be a Leafs fan and actively root against your team's interests?
Yeah.
It's like, sure, you hate Dubas all you want.
But do you want to see him lose? Do you hate Dubas more than you like the Leafs?
Exactly, yeah. That's what annoyed me about a lot of the Dubas hate, but I think Pittsburgh is in good hands. And Pittsburgh's always been like one of my more favorite teams outside of Toronto, and now they have one. You know,
one of your favorite players.
One of my favorite players in Crosby, and I've loved that team for years too. And
I haven't liked Pittsburgh because they've done things right and they've won and they've been doing it and they're good. Like that's why I'm like, you're doing it right. You're setting the bar really high. Screw you guys.
Oh,
so
dude, look at this shot though.
Ooh. Man.
Watch this though. He's gonna fucking just picks it.
Oh
no, just no, like barely anything on it. Bang, gone. They took Crosby from Buffalo. Yep, jealousy is real. Braden Yeager to Pittsburgh. I really like that. And I took him for Buffalo in my mock. So you almost got there for Pitt. That's cool, man. I like that. Nashville on the clock. Both of our original Nashville picks are gone. I had them taking Nate Danielson. You had Tom Willander. Sandin-Pellikka still on the board. Ban this man. Ban hammer down. Still have Oliver Moore still needs to be drafted. That's kind of a weird slide for me.
Pellikka. I have Pellikka right now.
Pellikka?
Yeah. The pick's in. You know what? I think he'd go well with Carson Lambos. Picked by Nashville?
Winnipeg. No, he plays for the Winnipeg Ice.
I say yeah. I think it'd be a good pairing together. No, I'm stupid. It was Minnesota that picked him.
It was last year, right?
Yeah.
No, it was the year before. 21.
Minnesota.
They said they're going to swing big. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if
be a
Trotz is up for it here. Look at these boys. It's like Nashville elites right now. Look at this. I love that.
I love the ties.
Yeah, the matching ties.
Matching yellow and blue Predators style. Predators colored.
I like it. Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce.
And the crowd's lit right now. They are happy.
Oh yeah, they're gonna lose their minds.
Nashville knows how to be a good crowd.
Yeah.
Because they have enough music, they have enough festivals, they know how to be a good crowd.
Thanks, Phil, for hosting. Yeah. David Boyle would like to thank himself and congratulate himself for a great career.
Bettman's shorter than his kids.
Dude, Bettman is so tiny.
Here we go, Smashville. From the University of Connecticut,
Matthew Wood.
Oh,
there we go.
Threw me off. Matthew Wood. Over Oliver Moore, though? I like it, but...
What? Were you doing? Matthew Wood.
Let's try. Oliver Wood.
No. I like Matthew Wood. Every year we talk about a Mark Stone type, but I really think that Matthew Wood is a Mark Stone type. He reads the game so well, and he's improved. Probably the most improved after like a guy like Bedard. Like if you look at from beginning of the draft, beginning of the year to this year, just the small ways that he plays the game. His vision is improved. His hands are still so quick. He does need to pick up the pace. He needs to move a little bit quicker skater, quicker feet. But wouldn't be the first time a 6'3", 6'4" kid has been a little bit slow to pick up the pace and fill into their own body. He's got quick hands. If his body, physically gets stronger, fills out a little bit better, he'd be even quicker.
Yeah. Is that Oliver Wood? It's a Harry Potter.
That's why.
I realized I was referencing at you.
Yeah.
Wrong person. You're just glazed over. Like, what are you talking about? Oliver Moore still on the board. Detroit getting Moore or Barlow at 17 sucks for us, though. Yeah, holy crap. They're going to get a good player regardless. Calgary, though. Calgary.
Which of these picks gets traded for DeBrincat? So we're getting in the range where we're going to start seeing, I think that one of these could be traded for DeBrincat. We're starting to get into the realm of trade value.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to get more realistic if you're looking at DeBrincat trades.
And I think a team, look at Calgary, who's all you hear are players want out. Maybe there's kind of deal where a player goes out and they bring in DeBrincat.
UConn. Just all alone in the slot. Wood skating doesn't look good. His mechanics is good. He's having knees in X. You can see it when he's doing his crossovers. Yeah, he's not the smoothest skater. I wouldn't say that, but I don't know.
Tage Thompson they're comparing him to right now. I think that's another actual great comparable.
Yeah.
Tage Thompson's another guy who took a little bit to catch up to speed himself. His crossovers aren't so great either, Tage Thompson, but now, as a skater, he's pretty good, so maybe that's a good comparison if you want to compare the two, both from the same University of Connecticut program. Matthew Wood, of course. I feel like it can be really hard to judge players amongst their peers at the NCAA level when they're 18. Matthew Wood is one of the youngest, or was the youngest, in the NCAA.
Yeah, he's on one of the youngest players in the draft, I think, this year too.
Right, so for him, actually, that doesn't make sense.
No, like he was. Isn't he an August baby?
No, February.
Oh, it's February. Who am I thinking of? I said it in my mock draft, and I can't remember.
Another UConn giraffe. Yeah. What are the odds, right?
UConn giraffe. Who did I say was on? Yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess.
I like Matthew Wood. He's not the first player who, his skating doesn't look great, but there's a lot of potential here. I think that his game speeds up. He's a threat. That's a great pick for Nashville.
I realize I haven't actually liked their home stream.
Me neither.
You're gonna get banned.
Spamming.
You're gonna get banned from the chat. It may or may not be Alex.
And Calgary's pick is in. We'll see. Who do you think?
Calgary?
Oh, I think I might go with one of ours. Andrew Crystal.
No, not now.
What do you think? Anybody left?
Would they take Sandin-Pellikka?
Maybe. I feel like maybe
doesn't really feel like a Calgary pick, but they need.
That's where
they need a good defense.
Does a team draft the way they usually do? Unmute.
Nashville Predators in the city.
Does a team pick how they usually do, or do they pick for what they don't have?
Yeah.
I'd like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on a Stanley Cup championship.
It's a fly flying around his head. That's really funny.
He's already dead. Nobody warned him. Nobody told him.
Anybody that's been a manager in this league for the last 25 years that hasn't been positively influenced by David Poile. He did his job with class and dignity and honesty, and wish him lots of success, much success in his future. For our first pick, I'd like to introduce our new general manager, Craig Conroy.
I want to thank all our season ticket holders back at the draft party.
Thanking the season ticket holders. Wow. Just say who you're picking.
With our first pick, we're going to take from the Vancouver Giants, Samuel Honzek.
Samuel Honzek.
Hey.
Whoa, there you go.
You were right.
I had a feeling. There's just something about Honzek's game that screams commitment. He's big. 6'4", and he made the jump to North American hockey to play in the WHL with the Vancouver Giants. And it worked for him. He needed to learn how to play the North American style of hockey. If you go back to my July, mock draft, I say this is going to be a big thing for him, where if he can learn to play the North American style, he'll keep that first round kind of potential. And absolutely he has it. I don't think he has, maybe there's a couple other names on the board that have a higher end ceiling, but as far as floors go, Samuel Honzek's floor right now, you can throw him in the NHL. If you want to talk about the most NHL ready in the entire draft,
in this range specifically too,
like Connor Bedard, maybe Adam Fantilli, and then Samuel Honzek. Because really, Honzek's game is simple. He plays a north-south game, uses his body, keeps it simple, gets the puck down the ice. And if you're trying to build a team and you're trying to build a middle six, Samuel Honzek's a guy, because it's all about hockey. Modern hockey is all about offensive zone possession, and Honzek's a guy that can get it out of your zone and into their zone, out of the D zone into the O zone. More offensive zone time, then Honzek gets the puck deep, then swap lines, first line comes out and scores. Very simple. Honzek's a guy that you can absolutely build your forward core around, and I think that for Calgary, the type of commitment, when you see Honzek play, every shift he is there, he is focused, he's right there, he is committed, and we heard, for the past 2 summers out of Calgary, people not committing to the team. Matthew Tkachuk doesn't want to be here. Johnny Gaudreau doesn't want to be here. Most recently, Elijah Lindholm, who else, and 2 other guys. Right? They're all saying, we don't want to be here. Honzek's a guy who wants to be there. He wants to play hockey. He loves to do his job. And for Calgary, he's the guy. He's a great addition.
Yeah, I like that. And second Slovakian.
Yep.
Picked. The Slovakian takeover continues in the NHL here in 16.
It's a Slovak attack.
And we both I know we both had the same line of thinking at 16. You taking Honzek and me taking Crystal. Both WHL guys.
Mm-hmm.
Calgary takes them. We both had that kind of similar line of thinking.
Yeah.
Kelowna versus Vancouver.
And the West
really
Coast sucks.
Seriously,
do you think you want to play in Calgary?
Sure.
Being in the Western Conference is harder. Being in even the WHL, the travel, everything. It's raining all the time. It sucks. And Honzek chose to be there. He wants to be in the West. So let him play for Calgary.
Detroit, Morlar can take 2, or a D would be Sandin, Swedish. Yeah, you took him for... I'd have Coke Zeros.
I'll grab one for each of us.
Sure, yeah. Sure. Yeah, Alex took Sandin-Pellikka at 9 for Detroit. So there's, the fact that he's a Swedish defenseman, everyone pencils in at least one Swedish defenseman for Detroit every year, I think. But Oliver Moore not being taken is kind of crazy. At 17? I mean, Benson at 13 I could have saw, but Moore falling all the way to 17. That's crazy. Detroit, Winnipeg, Chicago. This was the New York Islanders pick. Where was this pick from? This was the Hronek trade from the Horvat trade. So originally the New York Islanders. Into Vancouver, then here. I had Matthew Wood going here, but that has since been gone. Larkin, Casper, Moore, oh my, yeah. Dude, having Larkin and Moore on the same team, oh my god. That team just skates circles around you all game. Just announced Jim Nill is the GM of the Year award. I didn't know they did that at the draft. Oh, thank you.
They should really do the EJ Maguire award at the draft.
They should, yeah. I think, don't they normally?
No.
No?
No. I don't think so.
Is Yzerman a genius, or is everyone else just stupid?
You know, I feel like Yzerman's had a plan, and we watched it unfold, and it kind of just didn't work. And he's done a good job adapting his own plan. And I think a lot of GMs will get set on...
They get set in their ways.
This is what I want to do, and if it doesn't work, they just keep it up on the American way, where they don't stop doing it. They just keep doing the wrong thing until it turns out right. And I think, you know, just... a lot of that for GMs where they think their plan is perfect, and Yzerman has done a good job adapting, saying, hey, my little plan for my roster kind of just didn't work. We need to build it better, differently, adapt, and they've done it. I think Detroit's going to be one of the better teams in the next 5 to 10 years because they're doing a good job right now.
Yeah. No, Yzerman's full plan is yet to be realized. He's taken a lot of top picks, a lot of really good talent, and it's starting to come through now. I think Lucas Raymond was the first really big piece. Yeah. Had a kind of a iffy sophomore year. I think next year is going to be a big year for him. You know, Simon Edvinsson, he had his NHL debut this year. They took Marco Kasper. I don't think did he make his debut. No, but he probably will this year. If he hasn't already. It's oh yeah, he did make his debut.
Oh, one game.
One game. Reinbacher just said he'll stay in Europe next year. Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
That's not surprising. There's not.
He still has a long way to develop. Honestly, there is a huge chunk
it's
to his
different
game.
than it was. It's different than it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see a lot of first-round picks start in the NHL. There might be 3.
Yeah. 3 to 5.
This year.
And
like
only one gets like more than 20 games.
Yeah, Bedard, Fantilli, maybe.
With Columbus, I can see them giving him
I
a
could
chance.
see them giving him a chance.
They
like,
need a center.
And then like maybe one other guy will surprise in camp, like Dalibor Dvorsky will just be really good or whatever.
Yeah, you know, I can see Braden Yeager making camp just for just give him the 9 games, let him score 4 goals in 9 games with Malkin, then send him down.
Yeah,
let it be okay. I think Maxime Comtois, didn't he do that? He scored like 5 goals. And
he
said,
did
you
that,
know what,
then
just send him down, let him get the experience. It probably should have kept him up, but like.
No, I'm always down for that. If you like a guy and he's playing well in camp and he has good preseason, give him a few games at the NHL level. You know,
it's
reward him for playing well, giving it all he has, playing with Sidney Crosby for 2 games at the start of the year.
Yeah, doesn't have to be permanent.
Doesn't have to be permanent, and send him back down because he'll take that experience from the NHL. He'll bring it into the WHL. He'll go crazy all year, get picked by Canada for the World Juniors, win the World Junior Gold, and then come back the next year and fly. Right? So that's I think a really good idea for a lot of teams to try. For just if the guys that have a good camp and have a good preseason. The guys that aren't there yet aren't there yet. It's fine. Send them back. There's no rush for these guys anymore. Back in the day, you see a lot of the first round start right away because there's so much pressure and hype, and
Now, half of these guys you won't hear about for 2-3 years.
Yeah,
anyway.
2-3 seasons at the minimum. Especially defensemen.
Oh yeah, some of them five years don't until they're 20, like 3-4 years old when they really start to understand not just how defense works, but it has to become a habit where you can't make a mistake as a defenseman. You need to be doing the right thing every time, and to really get it drilled in the routine, paying attention, matching, on a one-on-one, matching the opponent's bodies while skating backwards.
Yeah.
It's, you think about, skating forward, talking. No, these people are going backwards. Like, it is a very
Full
hard
speed.
job, right? Like,
Full speed, being able to turn on
yeah.
a dime. Imagine McDavid coming flying down your wing and you're a rookie defenseman.
Yeah,
You're going to get beat 90% of the time because McDavid is the best player in the world. You're playing with the best players in the world. So give him 3 to 5 years.
And as a defenseman, eventually, regardless of your position, you might get caught against Connor McDavid, so you have to be ready and prepared.
Here's Detroit's pick. Just punch that off the desk.
Before making our selection, I'd like to thank all the Red Wing fans back in Detroit.
Didn't they already do this?
You already had a pick.
Stop.
With the 17th pick, the Red Wings select from Sollefteå, Sweden, of the SHL, Axel Sandin-Pellikka.
For a moment I thought they'd take Stenberg, and I was like, yay, SHL.
Yeah.
I was right.
Axel Pellikka.
I was kind of right.
You were right. You had him at 9.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know if that happened last year. We should highlight it, orange.
Orange? I'm not giving you credit.
You get it like half right.
Takes Pellikka off the board for 2 of us. You get half points. And you know what? I will. I'll give you half points for that. You get
that one. Yeah.
This one?
3 left.
This one.
Yes.
All right. You get that color for picking the right
getting
team.
the right team. Because that's part of it was me thinking throwing the Swedish defender thing. Same reason I had Stenberg at 17. Why not? Why not have a Swede going to Detroit? I'll be right eventually. I was half right.
Yeah, you'll be right eventually. That's a great pick at 17, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's an incredible pick. They end up with Nate Danielson and Sandin-Pellikka. This is another one of those times where just flip them both around.
Yeah.
Ryan Pickett. I have, I don't pick anything. Lemon draws. I don't pick.
Yeah, there's a
I
reason
pick
why
what I'm told. Put in more thought than most mocks I've read or watched. I mean, we try to think it out. What teams need, what teams want, what they've taken in the past. We try to put some education into it. We're not professional hockey scouts by any means, but we know what we're talking about a little bit.
Right, and we hope to have a genuine opinion, too.
Yeah.
We're not just saying stuff because we're supposed to or because we want to. We're genuinely trying to be hey, I honestly believe, I feel this way. We're not just, regurgitating something that somebody else said. We really want to have an honest opinion. Because we hope that, when you say that, look, we put in more thought, that matters. That, I want it to be taken seriously. This is, something that I care about a lot. I really like hockey. I love hockey. I love the draft. It's my favorite time of year. And
yeah, we're also not afraid to be hilariously wrong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because...
Why not?
I got, 2 picks right?
2, yeah.
One of which is Connor Bedard. So you're going to be wrong at 99% of your draft.
And that's a good thing.
Who cares?
And the way that the draft has kind of fallen out is better. I feel like every team has won the draft so far.
Every team's had a good draft, I think.
Right?
No one's made any insane picks.
And even where Arizona maybe, makes the reach on Daniel Butt,
they had their guy.
It's their guy, too, right? It's their guy that they wanted. So
and they've had 2 picks.
Yeah.
So maybe they really got their guy, and they're like, you know what? We got who they even get? Reinbacher? No, Montreal got Reinbacher. Simishev.
Yeah.
We got Simishev at 6. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna take. We have a lot of picks.
Yeah. Out of the same
We're
system,
gonna
too.
shoot for the moon on this one.
They're guys who haven't played together a lot in the past year, but they have played together a lot overall. They both come from the same local Yaroslav in the Russian system, which is my favorite team.
Nice.
Out of the KHL. Every year there is a local Yaroslav prospect that I love. In 2021, it was Vladislav Lukashevich, kind of fell off the board. 2022 was Alexander Paravolov, who I still am really high on. I think he's going to be a great middle six-winger one day. And this year I had Simishev and Daniel Boot. I was a little bit higher on Simishev, obviously, but Daniel Boot's there too.
Yeah, kind of, Bill.
As a Sens fan, I'm like,
For the amount of talk and chatter there was, from insiders and things heading into today, I'm a little surprised. But there aren't really a lot of big trades at the draft anymore.
There's one.
Yeah, there's like
one or
maybe
two,
one.
maybe. But like, it used to be a lot.
Yeah, I think ever since I think Brian Burke ruined it for everybody by back in '99 with the Sedin twins.
Oh,
that
yeah.
whole nonsense.
Oh my god.
I think he ruined it for everybody.
Nobody.
Now everyone's afraid to trade around their picks. They want their guy, right? Unless who cares?
Ruined a lot of things.
Yes.
And you have 3 minutes. Who wants to be running around at the table anymore? Like,
yeah, if you don't have a trade before draft day,
you fucked up. You're a bad GM.
There's very few that figure it out on the draft floor in the moment.
Yeah, and not just on a phone.
Like, you had to have already had like the trade 99% completed, and then just pull the trigger when it happens.
Or based off how the draft fell out. You're like, oh, my guy's on the board.
Okay,
I
my
want
guys.
it now.
Yeah, I want my pick now. Or all my A prospects are gone.
I want to get rid of this.
Yeah,
pick, maybe.
and you call them and go, hey, do you still want to brink it?
I wanted Pellikka, and Pellikka's gone now. I'm ready to make that trade.
Winnipeg Jets. Oliver Moore to Winnipeg. That'd be decent. Yo, if Chicago ends up with Oliver Moore, I'm going to scream.
Wow, he's thanking the city of Nashville.
Whoa.
I'd love to congratulate
What?
David Poyle for a
Okay, he's congratulating David Poyle, not Vegas.
It's one of them.
Such a mean.
Also would like to say hello to all our fans back at Canada Life Center.
Check all the boxes.
Yep. Gotta say this, that.
Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from Owen Sound of the OHL.
Colby Barlow.
Colby Barlow.
Yo.
Nice.
Good pick for Winnipeg,
Yeah.
man. Colby Barlow in the peg. Love that pick.
I didn't know that, Bill.
Recommend watching the Sabres YouTube video on their draft last year. Tried to trade up for Kulik like 12 picks. Got them with their own pick anyway.
Okay, well.
Dude, I love watching like the behind the scenes GM nonsense because you see that all the time.
And it lets you know that they have probably just as much insight on the rest of the teams as we do.
They know exactly as much as we do.
Yeah, so
we know the exact same as the NHL general managers on the floor. What's happening? Everyone's playing their cards close to their chest, right? And that's so funny. Dude.
I love Colby Barlow.
Me too.
He's got the way you put it, NHL player just written all over him.
Yeah. This looks like a big
first. Yes.
First overall. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Man's got the facial hair of a full-grown adult.
He's the OHL Scholastic player, 93% overall.
Damn, smart kid.
Yeah.
Remember when Aaron Ekblad was taken first overall? He showed up with like a full beard.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
It's like, who's
Can
this?
we check this kid's birth certificate, please?
Who's this man who's gonna announce the draft pick?
Was it Benchwarmers? The old movie where he's like, it's like a kids tournament, and he shows up and is like, it's like a piece of paper saying I am 12 or whatever, and he gives it to the umpire. Yeah. Oh, he's got his documentation in order, and he throws it away.
It's got a coin, not a coin, a bill roll.
Was it
a bill roll or something?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of money wrapped into it. Oh, I can't remember what movie that was. That was so fun.
It was some baseball movie.
I think it was Benchwarmers.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's old, but
I don't know if I like the fit of Barlow in Winnipeg. Not that I think he'll fit, but I'm like, okay. Barlow will fit anywhere. But are there teams that I think probably could have gone on him a little bit sooner? Like, I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. Defenseman for Chicago, maybe Gulyayev or Dragicevic. You know what? Dragicevic would be a good bet here because Connor Bedard and him are like really good buddies. I know they're super close. Possible that they tap into that Wheeler cap dump or buyout. Is a 1 year. I think you can. I don't think they buy him out.
No, it's too much.
It's his 1 year left. I think they either eat this year and just have him play, or they retain at some point.
Retain half, trade down in the draft for a pick.
Yeah, I think there's ways around other than buying him out. There's other options. And he's still a good player. He's just overpaid. He's not a bad player. It's not like you're buying out a guy who's like struggling in the NHL. The dude puts up like 60 points every year.
Yeah.
So
he's still an NHL player, and if he were to get bought out, he'd get re-signed very quickly.
Yeah. What did he have last year?
55 points.
55 points in 72 games. He was a -3.
And his back can handle another season.
Yeah. He's just old and way too much money.
Yeah.
Old and has way too much money attached to him. Take him on Buffalo if we didn't have 40 forwards in the roster already. Yeah. Blake Wheeler's not going to play much defense for you, so. I don't know who would take him.
Colby Barlow's hidden talent is that he could grow a beard at age 7.
Get out of here. Who wrote this?
His go-to karaoke song was I Want It That Way.
What is happening? My favorite player. Neither will any Sabres forward. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Buffalo Sabres fans. Oh no. They'll figure it out. Rasmus Dahlin is finally actually an average NHL defender.
He's pretty good now.
I remember a couple like when his rookie year. Do you remember when he like?
God.
Remember being watching a play where he just was watching the whole time? It's like his controller and NHL turned off and he just coasted into the net or whatever. They're figuring it out. They're a young team.
He's at the point where he's also good enough offensively. What's he get? 70 points?
Oh, he had way more.
Yeah, right? Like, he did amazing. So, like, he's scoring enough to be defensively imperfect and still just kind of, like, be figuring it out. 73,
Oh, 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's figured it out.
Right? And, like, he's not
Defense
the
is
same
hard.
kid that's... Right? And how old is he now? 23. 23, right? We were talking about earlier. 23, 24 is when that, the habit starts to really kick in. All right. Yeah, it's for sure.
Covers for his liabilities.
But hey, that's why it's a defensive pairing, and there's two of you. You don't have to. It's not a one-man army out there. It's a team game, and you can, be that guy if you have a good, partner, and a good strategy, good, system.
I had Semishev here for Chicago, so taking Gulyayev isn't completely insane.
No, I don't know if he's the Chicago style of defenseman, but he is a defenseman that's available. I like Dragicevic, though. I after you said that, that's my move.
Oliver Moore.
With the 19th pick in the NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select Oliver Moore from the U.S. National Development Program.
Oliver Moore fell to him, man. Fell all the way down.
Didn't you say you'd be angry? Upset if that
Did I?
Yeah. No, it was Ryan Leonard? No.
No, it was Michkov to Montreal. That I was going to be mad about. Oliver Moore. There you go. Finally taken off the board. We both had him in our top 10. That takes away our top 10.
Nice 1-2 punch, Bedard Moore.
Look at all that yellow, baby. Every year. I just have Dvorsky.
What, Matt? 3.5?
Yeah,
4.5.
4.5. Look at you go,
Yeah.
dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Every year.
Every year you outpick.
You're gonna get 1 or 2 in the 20s, though.
I always get 1 or 2
at
in
the
like
end.
25.
Yeah. I think you're gonna get Quentin Musty to St. Louis.
I was so convinced that Columbus would get Corson Kuhlmans. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because you hated him and I liked him.
No, we both hated him. And then I watched him play
Because
for
it
a
was
bit.
Toronto's pick.
And then I was like, you know what? I like him. It's all
It was
right.
Toronto's. It was
I
the
like him.
Foligno pick.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I'm like, they're going to take Kuhlmans.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's the offensive.
Because that was Toronto's pick. Warren Bedard is too good value and replace Caves and Tane. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. The skaters, dude. Oh. Bedard and Moore on this. Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Often,
try to keep up with
this
that
draft is full of incredible skaters.
Yeah.
That might be like the highlight. There's no like, I feel like in last year there was a lot of elite offensive talent in last year's draft. Like you had guys like Danny Zilkin, falling, but this one, the skaters,
Zilkin and Barlow.
Mm-hmm.
That little combo.
Mm-hmm. That is a good combo.
Lambert, Zilkin, Barlow.
Ooh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of a Winnipeg Jets fan now. Hey, like,
there you go.
You're like, oh, I don't know about the fit for Winnipeg. Oh, wait.
Hello.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
Seattle on the clock. Keep forgetting to put the thing on. I think you had the first goalie going in the second round, right? Yeah, I had...
Rabel?
Yeah, my first goalie out is Hrabel, and I had him going to San Jose at 36. But I wouldn't be shocked if he snuck into the first round. San Jose does pick at 26.
Conversely, I wouldn't be surprised if they fell. Like,
really?
Yeah,
like
you know,
out of the second round, or like just
out of the second, or like late second, we get our first goalie. No discredit to the goalies, you know, that are here, but I feel like we're kind of reaching, and there is no great goalie.
Vrabel isn't even my top goalie.
No, Carlsson.
No, it's Trey Augustine. Trey Augustine.
Yeah, I like Trey Augustine.
That dude's incredible. That's the first goalie I would pick.
Where's your scouting report on him?
It's coming. I'm going to do a draft response, right? Recap on the goalies instead of trying to mock the goalies.
Right.
Because that's impossible.
Yeah.
Who cares?
You should have done Augustine and then...
Augustine versus Hrabel.
Hrabel and Ratzlaff and Carlsson. You have 4 right there. You know we're going to get...
Oh, I have a top 5 or 6.
You could have done, that's where you could have done like 3 or 4 just scouting reports for them.
Yeah, I could. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Right, and that's where, like, I learned doing Russia. The first time I scouted Russia, I did a top 30 something. And I was like, yeah, I'll just do that again when I do it next year. And I went really hard on the videos and realized, yo, I can only do like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And that's all I need to do. Like this year, you know, I could have done Simishev,
Michkov,
Gulyayev, Rykov, Kantsarov.
Yeah.
Those are your top guys. I know there's Timur Mukanov is going to get drafted. Maybe a few other guys, but like really the top guys.
Yeah.
Right? 5 or 6 that I need to focus on those guys.
Usually entering the trade zone before 20th. Cost of the trades are too high. Yeah. If we're going to see anything, I think we're going to see teams package trades and trade down. That's happened more and more.
And they realize, hey, like the guy I want will be available at 40.
Yeah,
so
I'll
we're
going to
trade my 20s to 40s.
20 for 31 and 49 or something. Try to get more picks. Especially because a lot of these teams, like the Tampas and Torontos, who have traded like the majority of their picks, like they just need extra bullets at this point. So you'll see a lot of that. Seattle's pick is in.
And like, how many times has Toronto traded their first at the deadline, and then before the draft gotten a first round pick,
and then traded it back down?
Yeah, exactly. And then
almost every single year Dubas was in charge.
Yeah. So like it happened.
The only time he didn't was Rodion Amirov.
Right, was a good pick too.
And was a good pick at the time.
Did I predict that?
Yeah, you did.
I did. That was such a good pick.
He did.
He's gonna play so well.
Hopefully he comes back
fine.
and plays.
He's gonna have his update in July apparently.
That's good.
Yeah.
Rangers have only 5 picks and go back 5 more picks. Yeah.
Select from Cometa Brno, Edward Schala.
Edward Schala. Let's go. I had him at 14 to Pitt.
And in my 20s. I balanced. I knew when I did my mock draft that he would go higher than where I had put him. But I had maybe a feeling that a team was going to say, hey, you know, like he should be a top 15 pick. He surely, in this kind of draft, he really should have gone higher to a team that like was reaching or whatever. It was like, this is my guy. But the effort just isn't in his game. And that's why he definitely fell 10 points in this draft, where a different team would have been like, yeah, he's our guy. He's got all the skill, all the tools, but he's got 0. Like, look at him. Even like watching him walk up to the stage right now, I'm like bored. I'm like, does he want to be here? He's not smiling. Okay, there's finally smiling a lot, but like he doesn't. You worry that like when you watch him play, he's got all these tools, and he kind of just has low effort. He cheats on plays. He's cherry picking. He doesn't go in hard into the corners. He's not hard on the puck, and it's. But actually, I think his NHL role model is Jonathan Huberdeau, which I think is hilarious. I think in our mock draft, somebody commented he's a lot like Huberdeau.
Yeah.
And I see the same thing where Huberdeau, sometimes his effort level has been his detriment. Where, like, the season prior, 100 plus points, and this year, you kind of like, you see him, like, kind of just, not give 100% on some of these plays, and that's why he had, like, a 50, 60 point kind of season campaign this year. And I do think, though, that Seattle's a good team for Saleh, because they're a team with no identity, really, right?
Not yet.
Or not.
It's too early.
Yeah, exactly, right? And they're going to tell him, hey, this is the identity we're going to establish, that you're committed to the back check, that you're fighting in those corners. And if they can get him to do the things that he doesn't do, then this is a steal.
Yeah.
And Seattle's the team to do that because skill, so much skill, but
look at his shot. Bang. Gets it off so quickly. Watching highlights here. He's one of those wrist shots that like deceptively quick. It's not overpowering.
You look like he's trying to like set it up and then it's going.
Yeah, I wonder how that would work against NHL goalies. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys. It's like he has a quick, deceptive shot, but it's not hard or fast or heavy. Yeah,
it's just accurate.
It's just quick and accurate, and that doesn't always translate into the NHL, because NHL goalies are good.
Yeah.
Right?
And that quick snapshot and then just gloving it is something that NHL goalies have, like, they work on. That just, I'm just going to quick glove. So
Minnesota took their pick in the first, 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. Their pick is already in. St. Louis has 25 and 29. Watch for a trade. If any team is going to trade, I would say St. Louis. St. Louis or Nashville, because they've already picked a couple times. Who would you trade up for at this point? It's a good question.
If you needed a D, maybe Guliev.
No, I don't know. Gabe Perreault still is kicking around.
Yeah. I think I'm maybe Otto Stenberg, but I wouldn't reach very high. I'd be worried if I was a team in the mid-20s and I wanted Stenberg, I'd be calling Minnesota being like, hey, I'll give you a
who
third.
Who are you taking?
Yeah.
Right? And if they say Stenberg, okay, hold on, I'll give you...
a third, a small extra piece to, like, hold up.
Because it might only be 1 or 2 spots that you have to move up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Philly really wants Stenberg and they know Minnesota's taking Stenberg, that's not that crazy of a flop, right? So could see little things like that.
And then that also gives, let's say Minnesota says no, like, hey, I want Stenberg, I'm not giving up the pick. Then you know, as the team in the mid-20s, I might trade this pick down for 40, split my pick. Maybe this is the DeBrincat trade. I'm waiting for it.
Both of us could be right here. You have Callum Ritchie and I have Gabe Perreault.
Yeah.
Jug Brackett is the best head scout in Minnesota. Hell yeah.
They've had a few really good hits.
They've had some good... Jasper Wallstead, dude.
Carson Lambos.
They have a good scouting department, 100%. Liam Ogren, Daniel Yurov, Hunter Height.
Oh, that was a steal. Hunter Height.
And 2 at 47, yeah.
Rigor Lawrence is a steal. Oh, man.
David Spacek. I like that. 5th round.
Marco
Rossi, Marat Kuznatinov. Like, they've had a great last couple years.
All right, and they're going to announce it.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate David Poyle on an amazing...
Oh, congratulations.
For your friendship. Like Kyle said, being a mentor...
First of all, I would like to thank Ryan.
Out there. We appreciate everything you've done for us in the game.
I have no one to thank.
Also, great thank you to...
I made it. I did so much.
He did so much.
Especially Tootsies for keeping this entire...
Tootsies?
Well hydrated and...
What the hell is Tootsies? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Minnesota
crazy.
Wild proudly select from the University of Wisconsin, Charlie Stramel.
Wow. Sandwich over Rabbi. Nashville bar? Okay, fair enough. Charlie Stramel. That's surprising.
You know what? He is my... There's a few guys, him and Kasper Halttunen, who I really thought have a chance to sneak up.
He was so highly rated at the start
beginning.
Of the year.
I was waiting. He was ready to have an amazing year and didn't. But it's there still. He has all the potential.
This is my first outside of first round pick. This is my first guy that went outside my first round mock. Charlie Stramel was there at 42 for me. Wow.
I kind of like this. I kind of like it. I think that there's a few... It's
You're
an odd pick where you could have gone down. You could have traded down.
You could have traded this down, I think.
But at the same time, this is another pick where once you hit 20 in a draft, it becomes this is where like the draft really like becomes a shit show, and I get it. He's a guy who could be a first line center.
He has upside.
He very well could be.
But
it's a risk. But
does Minnesota not have any other picks?
You know, we were just looking at Minnesota's draft history. They've got a pretty good team. I think that they're looking at themselves and they're like, we're in a position where we can draft for need. Charlie Stramel is like a pet project prospect that you're not gonna have. You need to have a lot of confidence in, because if you develop him right, he can absolutely be a top center, but huge risk.
Yeah, they don't pick again until 54, so I can see why they did that. 54 and 64.
And maybe they had a hard time trading down. Because I feel like the way that this draft has gone, there's a lot of names left on the board in the next 10. that I'm like, okay, I'd be happy with any of these names.
I'm a little surprised Gabe Perreault is still on the board. I thought I was going to be the most wrong about him. I have him at 21. I thought that was low. And he's now fallen past that. I'm a little surprised that he hasn't been taken yet. Out of everybody.
It's the foot speed for him. Because he is the he is the highest scoring U.S. National Team Development Program player ever.
Ever. Single season.
But he isn't fast.
No, he's not he doesn't base his offense off his speed though.
Yeah.
Like it isn't created because he's fast.
Yeah. And in the NHL you need to be able to be that skilled at a certain speed. You need to be fast with the puck. You can't just be fast. You can't just be fast with the you can't just move the puck fast. You have to skate fast and move the puck fast. And he's a guy where I see NHL scouts looking at him saying, that isn't NHL projectable. It's American hockey projectable, because the American hockey system absolutely, definitely leans into the high skill type of player that he is. Where, the Canadians are a little bit different, but like that is the exact type of player that I think Americans lean into in the style of play. And, obviously maybe his skating hasn't been developed the same way. Maybe, teams are looking at it just saying like, hey, he will be, a great AHLer, a great European pro leaguer, but not an NHL speed level player. And
he's got so much, I don't know, he's got so much talent. Like I said in the mock draft, he's a great secondary talent on a line. He's not going to drive a line. That's why I thought he'd be good for Minnesota. I had him here because I thought he would bounce off really well with Kirill Kaprizov.
Maybe that's why he falls to the second, third round.
Maybe that's why he falls.
Yeah, because you can get good complementary scoring like that a lot easier, and this is the first round.
Flyers could go for a D or Gauthier. Briere knows Gauthier since he's a baby because he was playing with Denny Gauthier in Philly. That's a good connection.
Yeah.
I like that connection. Who did Philly take earlier? Matvei Michkov. All right. This is a problem with doing mock drafts. Is for years I have to forget who I had him because I always think, oh, he went to the team that I took.
Yeah.
And
you forget that you're wrong.
Forget that no, that's just my own mock draft.
My own headcanon.
I have to unlearn all this shit afterwards.
Who do you think?
Oh man,
this is a tough one.
Gabe Perreault.
With the 22nd selection, the Flyers are proud to select from the London Knights of the OHL, Oliver Bunk.
Oh. Well, Flyers was right about D. Sorry, Daniel. Jeunesse Daniel was right about taking a D.
I had a feeling I was gonna say. I'm like, maybe Gulyayev, just because
Gulyayev, yeah.
I didn't want to like say it over him.
Bonk, 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 bonk.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Bonk.
No, not at 22.
I watched him play, and I want more out of him every time. He's smart, he's good, but
there are other better defensemen here, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? Gulyayev. Gulyayev is the best skating defenseman, probably tied with Tom Willander here.
Yeah, Dragicevic and even Brustovic and Dragicevic.
I get
Aiden Price even.
Get that if
over
you
Bonk,
don't want a hyper offensive defenseman like Dragicevic, but if you just want a good D, Gulyayev.
Yeah. They're not afraid of taking Russians.
Yeah.
They took Michkov. I mean, I like Oliver Bonk. I think Oliver Bonk is going to be a good defenseman. I just don't know if I would have taken him at 22.
No,
he'll be an NHL player. He'll play NHL games at some point.
Yeah, I not better than a second pair.
No, his ceiling isn't very high.
Yeah, right.
His floor is very high.
High floor, low ceiling. That's what it is for me. He's gonna reach. He's gonna be a good depthy, bottom pairing.
He might, play. He might play 19, 20 minutes a night at his peak. For your team, eat minutes for you. responsible. Like if that's a guy that Philly could want, right? I get it, but I don't know. This is the NHL Entry Draft. You want to draft for upside.
Yeah, right. You have to because the low
Especially
side
in
is
the top
easy
20 or
yeah,
whatever.
you can go sign the low side potential.
Yeah,
You can go
sign a
your,
20-minute eater.
It's easier to build
time.
depth than it is to build core.
Yeah, top end talent.
Yeah, I don't think Oliver Bonk is a core guy that you look at and say, I'm building a team around this guy as my defenseman. I think he's more of a complementary piece. He's, like, hey, he's going to be a great penalty killer one day, too. Yeah. But,
hey, son of NHL Ottawa Senators legend Radek Bonk.
Very different game.
I liked Radek Bonk.
Yeah, right.
I was a fan of his. I liked his. I liked his name. I remember being like 4 years old and being just like, "That's a funny name, Dad." Yeah. Radek Bonk. Yeah, that's funny, right? And then he was my favorite player for 2 months.
Yeah, right. Bonk.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Good pick for Philly. I think that if that's the defenseman they want, it's D are really finicky. Where
D are crazy.
A D that you really like will fall to the 5th round, and a D that you hate will get drafted in the 1st. Yeah. And that's just how it goes, because teams want the defenseman that plays or acts the way that they want them to. Certain level of discipline, certain level of speed, and, sometimes maybe they're picking to be a D pair one day. Who knows? Like, there's it's very picky when it comes to D, so... Could have traded down again. 2 picks that I think he probably could have traded a little bit down.
The mullet. The Bonk mullet, baby. I love it. Seems like a good flyer, too. The more I think about it... yeah, just say the mullet.
Yeah. No, it's not the team. I like the team. It's the pick.
Yeah, it's the position.
Yeah.
For sure. I think they could have traded this down.
Yeah. I think maybe though they're worried that, maybe New York thinks, hey, that's my D2. And we all knew. This is why I had Tom Willander at 15, that defensemen would be in higher demand.
Yeah.
Because there aren't many D. But I didn't think it would be as many forwards being left on the table.
Yeah. At the expense of all these forwards, basically.
Right, because I feel like maybe Philly looks back on this one and says, okay, maybe we kind of reached a little bit too much.
New York Rangers pick is already in. That was fast. Chala is coming to the OHL next year.
That's good. Oh, and Barry. That's a good team for them.
That.
They're a very...
good development.
Yeah, they're a very, strict team in the way that they have their structure. They're very, very, very tight, very specific, and they will help a player whose deficit kind of gets exposed a lot. They'll definitely cover it up. The guy like Luca Delbel-Baluz, that his skating definitely improved.
New York Rangers are proud to select from the U.S. under-18 team Gabriel Perreault.
Gabe Perreault to the New York Rangers.
EAULT, yeah.
I was kind of worried that he would fall.
Yeah, weirdly fall, yeah.
And I know a guy I know Otto Stenberg will probably go at the beginning of the 2nd round.
Really?
But yeah, probably. He doesn't have the upside. And I think too many teams are going to say that's a 3rd line center, not a 2nd line center. And he'll just fall in the 2nd round. Because we're getting into the point where you're picking the guy that you want. I think for New York, this is the opposite, where they're like, okay, Gabe Perreault is actually the best
He
guy
might
left
be the
on
best
the thing.
player, yeah.
But you were going to start getting into, like, two guys are going to pick who they want, one will pick the best. And two guys will pick who they want, and then one will pick the best. And
a lot of good players still on the board here.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Crystal, Callum Ritchie, Otto Stenberg, you were saying. Quentin Musty, I think, is about here. He would have gone. Defenseman, Mikhail Gulyayev.
I'm
Lucas
really surprised.
Dragicevic.
I love Gulyayev. He is... I'm really surprised that of all the D, he's going to be like the last one here, maybe with Dragicevic to get picked.
Yeah, he'd be the next D off the board for me, personally.
Like, I think if you were to pick the next best players at this point, you're looking at, he's probably one of them.
I just stand up for a second. Dying.
Of course, between like the three best offensive D, we're looking at Axel Sandin-Pellikka, Mikhail Gulyayev, Lucas Dragicevic. Obviously, the last two are still left on the board.
Yep.
I get why for Dragicevic that his defense is
it's
so
too
bad,
questionable.
and obviously defense takes time.
Yeah.
But
Something we forgot to mention, and someone pointed it out in the comment section, he's only been playing defense for like 3 years.
Yeah, he was a forward.
He was a forward, and he converted to defense.
Yeah.
Because someone went, you know what, you'd be a really good offensive defenseman, and they switched. So not only is his defense hard to learn, but he's also behind. Like everyone else's usual development for defense.
Yeah.
So he might not learn how to play defense until like 24, 25. Like realistically, like good NHL solid defense because he's 3 years behind everybody
and
else.
As a result, is a team gonna take a chance on the first round pick for a guy that they're gonna wait 7 years before he's an NHL player? I get why that they're looking at their development program and they're like, do I want to commit to a defenseman who's only in his 4th year playing D now?
Yeah.
Like most of these D have been playing for almost like 8 years, 10 years,
I agree, Daniel. I think I have them taking Gulyayev here. I think they'll take a defenseman. Nashville's a defense factory. Why not?
Yeah.
And it depends what you want to do. Like high upside offensively, you take Dragicevic and that was Trott's MO. Right? Take big swings on guys.
Yeah.
Because this is the draft.
He would be the big swing.
So he would be the swing. So I don't know.
Gulyayev's a very safe pick in my opinion. I feel like Gulyayev's definitely like the best skater. He's very mobile, but he just kind of like does nothing with the puck in the offensive zone. He creates chances, but then like does something stupid, like his offensive that puck hungry, get it to the net in the slot kind of just isn't there. But I feel like a lot of that is also part of the team that he's on in the KHL Omski.
Yeah.
Where an NHL team that does draft him says, I need to worry about his development in the offensive zone. I'm not going to have control over his career because he's going to be playing in Russia for the next 2-3 years. It's a lot harder to develop that into a guy where you see maybe if Gulyayev was going to come over sooner, or if he was going to play in North America, he's playing in like the OHL or the Canadian CHL or something, you'd say, hey, I'd have more control over that and I can turn him into a top 4D. But if he misses 3-4 years of development, maybe he's just a really fast skating bottom pair D. And that's where a team might say, hey, he's just a good skater. If he can't get that offense, what good's like a 15-point defenseman in today's NHL? That's a bottom pairing guy. Let's not waste a high first round pick on him. So I get it. It can be very hard. Like the Russian factor here can be very difficult for how much control you have over a player and their development.
Talking about why there's no trades yet.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had the Boo Bettman
right
in a while. It's very strange. Hasn't been there's a trade to it.
Makes me question the Ottawa's plan for DeBrincat. Right? Like
if he hasn't gone by now.
Yeah. Like I was expecting late teen, early 20. Maybe it's 2 picks. Maybe it's like a 230s or something. Maybe 2 picks from Detroit.
Crowd going nuts for Barry Trotz. Second general manager of Predators history. That's really funny.
Now, to make our second pick in the first round, our captain, Roman Josi.
You're going to have Roman Josi announce the pick.
Nice.
And legendary goaltender, Pekka Rinne. Out to you guys.
The mascots here.
Is it just me or did a band show up behind them?
With 24th pick,
Oh, they're outside.
2023 draft, Nashville is proud to select
Tanner Molendyk.
Tanner Molendyk.
from Saskatoon. Welcome to Nashville, Tanner.
Wow.
Yeah, they cut to outside. That's
Yeah,
why-
that's
like
that
the
makes
draft
sense.
party. There you go.
Tanner Molendyk. That's a pretty cool pick. I didn't expect him to be the D to rise.
That's not how you spell Molendyk.
You like it? Yeah, you got it now. I think you got it.
Did I get it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Molendyk. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, these players so far announcing names haven't been good at it.
Yeah, they suck. they
Those
really
hockey
they don't
heads.
know what the hell's going on. they're both half cut partying.
Yeah,
Give them
right.
a microphone. To...
And
guys, we've been
also-
drinking since 3 p.m.
I feel like a lot of these guys are also, they're not reading the name off a card, so they only get to hear the name once or twice.
Yeah, then they get blank and then
Right.
they panic and
Alright, like the scouts have been looking at these guys all season, so
yeah. Roman Josi hasn't been paying attention to the
to the draft.
to
He
the
doesn't care about
draft,
the draft.
guys, right? Guys would be taking it 24. I didn't do that. Third player in my second round mock. So there'll be 3 guys that miss for me here. Now we cut to Roman Yo. Makes the pick from Tootsies.
Still have some defensemen on the board still.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking earlier about the demand of defensemen, but there's still some on the board that now I'm surprised.
This was Seattle. St. Louis's pick is up next. This was Toronto's. So there's a little bit of this that I'm going to watch. But Toronto's coming up. 28. Still some really good players on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good players on the board. Let me see.
Andrew Crystal's one that I'm really excited to see where he goes.
I don't think Toronto will take him.
No. Callum Ritchie, Otto Stenberg. I'm not surprised Riley Height's gonna fall.
No, not yet.
He
for
had
me.
the things that I expect. He's one of the guys that I always talk about growth and how much better a player got throughout the year is a huge indicator for me. Because if a player stops getting better, then they start then where's their trajectory? How's their development? Yes, if I were a GM and I can influence their development, but I also worry about a lot of these things, and he is a guy that I worry about.
ATM Moran, it could be. That's a good off the board pick. I don't think I have him in my second round. He's another guy that just missed the cut for me for my mock draft. Some people are way higher on him than me. I'm kind of in the lower end for ATM Moran, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was taken here. But I think that's a reach. You can probably get that guy in the second round.
I feel like we both don't get the cue.
Yeah, the Q's weird, man. I don't know.
It's such a weird. There's.
I don't know how to evaluate the Q.
Yeah, because it's a slightly different type of hockey game in the Q. That the WHL is a little bit different than the OHL, but it makes sense. It's a more similar style of hockey, and then you watch the QMJHL play, and it's the ranking of these players is a little bit different.
That's true. They have drafted in the Q before, obviously. I'm just looking at their draft history. Zach Bolduc from a couple years ago. That was their most recent QMJHL top pick.
Andre Gaudette. Nikita
Alexandrov and Ellis. Like, they've... Wow, 2019 was all the cube.
Yeah. Their pick isn't in.
Yeah,
So
it's waiting.
Yeah.
They do have... This was the team... Oh, their pick is in. This was the team that we said would trade if any team was going to. Because they have a pick. They had a pick already at 10 in Dalibor Dvorsky. What did I say?
Dalibor Dvorsky.
Dvorsky. And then 25 and 29. So as soon as I said it, I'm like, paused. I'm like, wait.
Right, and they're a team that I feel like could have a quicker retool.
Oh, yeah. They're not rebuilding by any
Yeah.
sense. I don't think.
So these could have been good trade pieces for Alex to break it.
Like, please, someone take Alex to break it. You just want a first round pick. That's what you want. You have nothing to look forward to right
now.
No. I at least have that one pick.
Or like Gulyev to Ottawa, yeah.
When is Ottawa's first pick?
They don't have a third.
They don't have a third? Where
they have a third. They don't have a first or second.
They don't have first or second? Wow. Where's Ottawa's first pick?
Or is this the third they gave up as well?
Let's go back there. Well, they don't have a third either. Otto Stenberg, I think I heard. I missed the switch over.
Otto Stenberg to St. Louis.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I feel like he's not their style of player, but he is really good. And you know what? If they're looking at their draft board and they're sitting there thinking, hey, who's left on the board? Who's the best? Stenberg is, him and Crystal. I'd say Gulyev as far as who are guys left on the board. And I love Stenberg. I got the best chance to watch him early at Hlinka, where Leo Carlsson wasn't there. So Stenberg became the number one center. And you're going to look at it now, you'll see throughout this draft, you compare it to last year, we already had like 4 Swedes. After Leo Carlsson, Stenberg, it kind of falls off the quality of talent just this year in Sweden. And that Stenberg really, really, really shown as like a one-man army for the team at Hlinka. So I was really impressed, not just by how he stood out against his peers, because obviously on a weaker team, he's going to just look really good, but his ability to kind of take over and play a high-stakes, I need to be a number one center role. I don't see him as a number one center, but I think that it was like a good practice and a good scouting opportunity to watch him in that role, to know that, hey, if I'm going to be St. Louis, if I'm going to need to like build a team where I'm rolling 3 or 4 centers, he's a guy that I can rely on under pressure to maybe play kind of like a second line center role, first line center. If he needs to eat up some minutes, he can be trusted under pressure. He's got all the tools. He's a very well-rounded guy, sees the game very well, just doesn't have that elite finishing touch where, okay, he just plays a really good hockey game, and sometimes that's all you need to do.
Especially at this range, too. At 25, you're just looking for good hockey players at this point.
Right,
and then maybe some of them surprise you.
The percentage of a second-round player making the NHL is only like 30%.
Yeah, it's not high.
So if you're picking late in the first and you have a guy like Stenberg and you're like second-line, third-line center, a guy that you can rotate, this is a win. Getting an NHL, like a really good NHL player, is a win.
That was a good play by Stenberg on the last highlight they showed it. That's not an easy thing to do, to shoot while you're off balance.
Yeah.
Like that, going the other way and still getting enough
gusto on it
to pick a top shelf kind of thing.
And we both had Dvorsky being taken because St. Louis needs centers.
Yep.
And Stenberg, I don't think he fits their mold, but he will be a good center. and maybe that kind of drives Dvorsky to be better.
Yeah.
That Dvorsky's maybe number 1, 2, and Stenberg's 2, 3.
Yeah, I like that.
And Zach Bolduc is
Zach
like
Bolduc, Jake
right,
Neighbors,
there's 1, 2,
Jimmy
3.
Snuggerud. They got a lot of
that's
good
your
players.
down the middle punch going forward. And are any of those 3 a number 1 center?
No.
Maybe Dvorsky, but it'll be up to them 3 to kind of fight for it and make each other better and push each other, and one of them's going to end out on top, I feel.
Bill, how what? You mean Hal Stenberg or what? In San Jose, second pick of D. Yeah. I mean, San Jose just needs prospects. They're such a crazy and like down bad organization right now.
And Greer's like a new GM. This is his second draft. He's only been, a year and like 3 weeks or something as a GM.
Yeah.
He's still building this team. And he needs to, these picks are really important. And last year he doubled down on getting the guys he wanted.
Yep.
But I really think he needs to make just the right choice now.
Says their pick is in, but they're still sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
They've been sitting there for a while.
Last year they picked Philip Bystad, Cam Lund, Matthias Havelid, Michael Fisher.
Good players.
They also, I feel like they maybe drafted, they reached not far, just a little bit to pick the right guys for their organization.
Ed Finger was wondering how Dvorsky and Stenberg fit with Thomas and Kyrou. Yeah. I mean, they have. That's why we're saying St. Louis is not that far off. They have good young players, Thomas and Kyrou being 2 of them. A guy like Dvorsky comes in. He's not quite the number 1 set. St. Louis feels like a team that's going to have an abundance of just solid all-stars.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to be a team that's going to run the table with like a Connor McDavid, like a superstar. Like they're just going to get it done. And both Stenberg and Dvorsky, I think, fit that mold because they're not superstars. They're not overly flashy.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of
watching San Jose. Quentin Musty.
Oh, there goes Musty.
Quentin Musty. That is a great pick. Though, sorry, back to you, Bill. I'd say you get like Thomas, and then Dvorsky, and then Stenlund and Bolduc. And that's kind of just...
Thomas plays both wing and center, right?
We'll see.
Yeah?
We'll see. But that's your 1, 2, 3.5 punch down the middle. You don't have to worry about center depth for the St. Louis Blues. You're good for all, the next little while here.
I was so close with Quentin Musty. It was one off.
Mm-hmm. This is a pick I'm not a fan of. I don't like Quentin Musty.
I know, you're a Musty hater.
Yeah.
That's alright. It can't all be perfect.
He's got a little bit of everything. I think San Jose's a good team for him. There's good current leadership there. I don't know if it'll impact. I don't know if he'll be with, I don't think he have a chance to play with Joe Pavelski or anything. But
not Pavelski.
I mean, Logan Couture.
Yeah, Pavelski has a bit of.
I don't know if he'll have a chance to play with Logan Couture. They'll hopefully line up just right, but we'll see. He's the type of power forward I feel like is San Jose's style of winger center. He's that type of power forward, but I don't like him.
I don't know. I like his jam. He's got a good amount of fuck you, if that makes sense. He's just got that avenue to his game. He's not he's not a power forward. Everyone wants to compare every power forward to Makachuk and Tom Wilson or whatever. He's not that. Closer to a Zach Hyman than he is a Makachuk.
Yeah.
Darcy Tucker.
Darcy Tucker.
Kind of a little bit of a prick.
Yeah. But I don't
plays
want to compare him
hard,
to Zach
can
Cassian.
Score. Turn into Zach. Well, Zach Cassian couldn't skate. Yeah. That's a difference there. Musty is a decent skater. And he's going to put up some offense. I see Musty as a solid second, third line winger.
Third, fourth. That's my problem. I can't.
You see him third, fourth?
I see him as depth, energy, grit, third, fourth. I can't see him as
You put him with the right line mates, he's going to put up a lot of points.
There's a lot of guys, a lot of depth
put
scorers
him with
you
William
can
Eklund. But Tree Living's on. Working the phones, Tree Living.
And I think Eklund's a left winger. Both left wingers.
Colorado should swing big on Crystal. Someone's gonna have to swing big on Crystal soon, man. Like Crystal's been falling.
I'd be upset if he fell out of the first round.
Yeah, so would I. Colorado and Toronto here. Oh my God, they're gonna get one of them.
Oh my God.
Tree Living's gonna trade the pick. Sorry. I'm start freaking out.
Yes.
Because I have a guy I want Toronto to take so bad right now. But I can't say because I'll jinx it. So
Musty's off.
I'm just gonna Musty's off. I wasn't really like Musty would have been a cool pick, but I'm not like, come on, please fall. Like last year, I remember when Brad Lambert started to fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he got into the second round, and then we had traded the pick.
That became
down from Chicago to Chicago to get rid of Mrazek, and I was cool with that. But then I'm like, wow, they could have gotten fucking Brad Lambert. And then he got taken at like 33 or something. Yeah. And I'm like, no, because we picked like 38. We're 5 picks away or something. I was screaming. Tree Living was on the phone to somebody there pretty ecstatically, so we'll see what Tree's got in store. Maybe Toronto's the first team to trade down. They don't have another pick for a while. I should know this. I think it's the 5th round.
Yeah, so if they're going to trade, get a few extra picks in the draft.
Yeah.
Toronto's always been really good, and I'm guessing Tree Living is going to walk into a scouting department and be like, whoa, guys, awesome.
So what do we got?
And because they're going to have good late round picks. Not late, but like mid round. Like the 3rd to 7th round, like they're going to have some really good, interesting picks because Toronto's done that for a few years now.
Yeah.
They've picked some really good guys. They've gotten, Topi Niemela.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
solid, great pick in the 3rd round.
Yeah, right. So
they took those guys backwards. Hirvonen and Niemela were backwards.
And so I can see them doing that where like they split that 1st round pick into 2 seconds, maybe 2 seconds on a 3rd, and then they get 3 NHL players.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Right? You can get value in the 2nd round. Detroit have 3 consecutive picks.
Yeah, those 3 picks for Detroit are going to be huge too.
Yeah, they could. If Detroit wants a guy, maybe they give one to Detroit. Maybe they're working on something. We'll see. Colorado's pick is in, so they're picking at 27.
DeBrincat is still a Senator.
Still an Ottawa Senator. If he gets traded to Toronto, I'm going to fucking freak out.
I keep thinking about that.
I don't want it. Full stop.
He'd be great.
I'd walk out.
Nylander would go out. Nylander for DeBrincat.
Stop.
Nylander for DeBrincat.
Stop it right now.
I should have done that trade speculation.
Oh my God, you imagine? There's some sort of crazy trade. I want Timmy Stu for Willie.
Okay, buddy.
Willie is our savior.
The Colorado Avalanche are proud to select from Oshawa, Callum Ritchie.
No!
Oh, that was him.
Damn it! Colorado.
Callum Ritchie would have been a guy that you could have put on the wing with Matthews.
God damn it. I wanted Callum Ritchie so bad. There are 2 L's in Callum. There is.
No?
I
don't think so. I don't remember.
There's one. Yeah. Damn it.
He's good.
Good pick for Colorado.
And Callum Ritchie's not like a typical playmaker.
First for Victor Olofsson, you get out of here.
He's not a typical playmaker. He's got the modern playmaker you expect to just be this puck dangling, does the spin, passes the puck. The way that Callum Ritchie makes plays is by seeing the game 2-3 steps ahead and putting himself in a position to receive the puck, whether it's receiving a pass from a teammate because he's fighting for position in front of the net, whether it's a fight along the boards and he's the one who uses his stick to pick up the puck. Loose puck, he's got a quick skater, so he turns, puck retrievals into offensive chances. He's a guy who he in the more literal term, definition of the term, he makes plays happen by just being in the right spot. Thinking 2-3 steps ahead, he makes those plays happen. He's not the NHL playmaker that is the crazy skilled passing, speedy, typical playmaker that we see. He just makes plays. He is a playmaker because he is constantly putting himself in a good spot. I feel like Callum Ritchie's going to have a chance to play with some really good Colorado talent because Colorado's still a win now.
Such a good pick.
They've still got some, still young enough as a team of Colorado to come back and have a guy like Callum Ritchie be a young player on this team that makes another deep playoff run.
Andrew Crystal maybe is a guy I'd want here now.
Mm-hmm. Crystal would be the most Toronto pick ever, which is why they should not do it.
I know.
Because same with Riley Height. I think Gulyayev would be a great pick.
Gulyayev would be decent.
He'd be they've
taken too many defensemen recently.
Yeah, they have. And
they got a lot of good prospects on D.
He is a very...
Honestly, trade the pick.
A very mobile D that I think matches kind of Toronto's speed. Kasper Haltinen's a good one.
I would be mad about Haltinen. They won't pick Haltinen, I don't think. And they have all the Finns. I don't know how to evaluate. I used to know who Toronto was picking. Cameron Allen, please. Callum Ritchie, man. That'd have been such a good pick.
For reaches,
William Whitelaw?
Whitelaw would be a good reach.
Yeah, maybe a decent one.
Bradley Nadeau.
Toronto takes the first goalie. Yo.
Oh, Rabel. I can see Rabel. I could see Riley Height. He's a guy that...
That'd be sick, actually. You've been right all day, Bill, so...
Yeah. We're going to go with Bill.
We're going to go with
We're no longer a hockey channel. We're a Bill channel. You know that octopus that predicts the Stanley Cup?
The octopus?
You know that octopus that predicts the Stanley Cup, or like the
I know about the corgi.
The Stanley or like the Super Bowl and stuff. There's like a fortune seeing or future seeing octopus, and it sticks out its tentacles and it picks the ball of the guy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna find and this.
Well, Toronto's pick is in. Oh, I'm so nervous. Stop it. Don't pick Tyler Boucher.
Paul the Octopus died.
Paul the Octopus is dead.
Who predicted the results of international football matches correctly.
In 2010.
As an animal oracle. And we're going to do that to Bill. We're going to take Bill. We're going to put him
Bill
in
is our new Bill the Octopus?
Yeah.
I know about the corgi. You seen the corgi? The
one that pushes... Yeah, okay, I've seen that one. But that's just... Those are stairs.
Yeah, that was funny. Like how many people are coming up for Toronto, dude? I hate this every time. Every person in Toronto. Look at Tree Living, look at it. Like, there are too many people coming up here. You're killing me. No, we're not killing you.
Yeah, we're going to harvest
We're replacing Bill the Octopus with you because you're predicting it so well. I think that was the meme.
Yeah.
Was it Bill the Octopus? Paul the Octopus. Well, he's Bill the Octopus.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what we're saying anymore. We're 27 picks into the draft. We're losing our
minds. It's a 3.5 hour stream. The pick is in.
Oh, God.
Be dumb. Be really bad. There's 30 people on the stage right now.
Yeah.
Just wanted to thank the city of Nashville.
Can you mute, Ashley?
Some great hospitality. Thank Billy Garrett for the open bar bill at Tootsie's all week.
Way ahead of me.
And we'd like to congratulate and thank David Poyle. He's been a mentor to many of us, and congratulations on a great career. To make our selection, I'll call up our head scout, Wes Clark.
Head scout coming up.
I didn't actually hear him.
Toronto selects from the London Knights, Easton Cowan.
Easton Cowan? Okay. Oh. That's a reach.
Easton Cowan is the latest member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Another London Knight goes in the draft.
Okay.
London Knight.
Okay.
Why not trade down?
Why?
Jonas Daniel. Yes, me too. I'm trying really hard not to be mean to Ryan right now because
No, it's fine. I'm mean to you.
This is a dumb pick.
Who?
This is a reach, man.
Easton Cowan, dude.
This is a reach.
My God.
This is where, you know, what I joked when about, you know, Pierre Dorian falling asleep and getting the wrong pick. Maybe they were trying to pick in the fourth round here, fifth round. Yeah,
so how do you spell it? I don't even know. It's E.
They could have traded down.
The Cowan or Cowan?
Cowan, right?
Cowan?
Cowan. Hey, you had it right the first time.
Right the first time. Oh no, dude! Why not trade down?
FC Hockey has him ranked 118th. He's 51st.
Tree living! My reaction should go viral. I hope not.
This is...
to relive this for the rest of my life.
This is a third round pick.
Come on, dude.
This is a third round pick.
They didn't have a third round pick, so they decided to use it on the first. My God. Okay, alright, you know what? I don't know everything.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good offensive D, but I don't...
He's a center.
Is he? I thought it was a D.
No. Oh, he's a forward.
I'm off. This is where, like, third round, man. Should have traded down.
I felt pretty comfortable with where I thought he might be going, but tell me a little bit more about Easton.
Well, I live close to London, so I can make that as short. 53 points in 68 games, 21 points in 20 games in the playoffs for London. Played for the Kamoka Kings.
Yeah, he was 85th on Jonas Daniels' list.
On my 30 list nation. Oh.
Just trade down.
Oh no, Tyler Boucher's come back to get me, dude.
Yes.
Oh.
Callum Ritchie, Easton Cowan.
Absolutely. You look at the Washington Capitals. How many years have they been picking in the 20s?
This is a turning point for the organization. Mikhail Guyayev is on the board. Andrew Crystal's on. Andrew Crystal's still here.
Andrew Crystal's still here. Haltonen is still here.
You're telling me that
Tyler Boucher kind of pick. Yeah, no, I've been making fun of Alex all day for Tyler Boucher. This is on me, Leafs Nation. I'm sorry.
A year.
Well, specifically today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Leafs Nation. I've done this to us. Oh, the thing's still on. Oh, I'm lost. Thank you.
Now, do you not think that Detroit would have traded two of those picks for this first? Are they so confident that another 12-13 will go by, even a second and a third? A second and a third for this pick. Take the loss as Toronto and say, look, we'll give up a little bit of value to get the extra player drafted and take 2 low seconds to get this guy. Because this is a we want him kind of pick. This is not a...
Yeah, this is they want their guy. They don't have another pick for a while. They're not sure they're going to get one.
But if you're going to make it count... Oh.
Time for a beer? Yeah. It's time for several. Daniel, it's time for several.
Where's the El Dorado?
It's over there. Oh, alright, well, you know what?
Alright.
Fine.
You get nothing to look forward to either.
No. I'm done for the day. That's it for me now. You know what? I don't know, man. I don't hate Easton Cowan. I just don't like the pick here, man. If they had traded down and picked him in the third round, I'd be like, oh, cool, that's a third pick and that's a dope pick in the third round.
You know what? Even a good reach in the second.
Yeah, you want to pick him at 58 or something? Sure, fuck it, go for it. But the players on the
28.
board, dude, we had
Crystal, Cohen Zimmer.
Callum Ritchie was just taken, and now I have to look at Ethan Cowan.
Could Toronto not have traded up one? Say Colorado, I'll give you this and this, I'll give you throw in a piece. I'll throw in Semyon, Derek, SDA.
No, he's going back to Russia for good.
For good? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you're right, Daniel. I don't hate the guy. Like, the player, I don't have anything against Easton Cowan. But
drafting
at
him
28, when this is your only pick, and not having to just trade down, did you get told that St. Louis was going to pick Easton Cowan with this pick?
Right? Did they try and trade up to 25 to get somebody? And they're like, no, by the way, we're going for Easton at 25.
Like, I just, come on, dude. Asset management.
Yeah, asset management's huge. And this is a bad start for Tree.
Damn it, Tree. All right. Theo Lindstein.
Yeah. Theo Lindstein is a St. Louis Blue, which, you know what? I feel like he's going to really fit in. He's a guy who's, I say, like a physically developed kind of D that I feel like St. Louis is going to lean into, and they're going to turn him and mold him into the kind of D that was expected of him at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, it was Leo Carlsson, Theo Lindstein, like neck and neck as the top two Swedish D, and I think that Lindstein kind of fell off a little bit, and I think a lot of people expected him to actually go in the second round, but he's a D that I think that St. Louis will get the best out of. A type of like, look at a guy like Vincent Dunn. They were able to get the best out of him. The guy, he's a good D, and I think that if you do get the best out of him, early in the season, people predicted him as maybe a top 15, top 20 pick. They're definitely going to earn that.
Yeah. No Royds, I'm happy as a Blackhawks fan. Can't believe we got more at 19, dude. Great draft so far from the Blackhawks.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Great draft for the Blackhawks so far. And Daniel, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I haven't used this camera all day, but I'm dying on the inside, as you can see.
It's a good draft for St. Louis right now, I think. Dvorsky, Stenberg, Lindstein.
Yeah. St. Louis is very good.
Yeah. You get solidify your middle six center. You get what probably is going to be either a second or third pairing defensive kind of D. So far, I want to crown the first round to St. Louis. Chicago gets it by default.
Yeah, Chicago wins by default, but other than that...
St. Louis has had probably the best draft.
I think San Jose's had a pretty good draft, too, with Will Smith and Quentin Musty.
I don't like Musty.
I know you don't like Musty, but I think that's a good pair. That's a good two guys. Nashville, Oliver Blanc with Philadelphia has been pretty good. Kyle Davidson apparently tried to trade up for more, but he fell into lap at 19. Said to their medical, really hope with the 31st pick tomorrow we can take Crystal.
Yeah. I'm surprised Crystal's fallen this far. I said back in July, I was like, you know what? He's the candidate to go up.
He's got so much skill.
It's all on him, but...
He's got so much skill. He's a little, I don't know, he's a little light for me.
He could fall
a little light.
A lot.
Remember
we're looking back at a guy like Sasha Pastujov?
Yeah.
Where you look at the parts of his game that are like, obviously different, but, like sometimes, a lot of these things, an NHL scout will start to pick you apart and say, hey, this one aspect of your game that you can't get over is the reason you will never be in the NHL. And if they're looking at a guy and saying, hey, Crystal, like, you're good, you got the skill, but you can never break better than you can never be better than like a depth kind of piece, then hey, you fall out of the first round.
Trying to remember if I saw him live.
Let me check the game log.
Why are we signed up?
Why are you signed up? Why do I pay something dollars a month for Elite Prospects Premium?
Keep signing.
Yes, no roids, just rage. That is a huge reach. I have a feeling that Toronto was getting maybe too far lowballed on trying to trade down. That they're looking at other teams like Detroit who have multiple picks in the second round saying, hey, give me two of those for one of these. And Detroit said something like, hey, I don't want, I feel more confident with 2 guys here. I feel like I can get my guys at 40. And they said, hey, no, I don't want to trade down. And the Leafs just said, you know what? We're going to kind of not waste a pick, but if we can't trade down, we'll just say, screw it. We'll take our guy. And Easton Cowan's who they want. And hey, he's a good offensive guy. He's got great skill, but does he have what it takes? Who knows? Middle 6 center. And of course, the London Knights on their long playoff run, so he definitely showed in the playoffs to be a playoff performer. Maybe what we're seeing here is the Leafs drafting for need. They're like, who was the best playoff performer available? You're not looking at regular season, you're like, who's the best playoff performer available? And Easton Cowan was a pretty good playoff performer for the London Knights, so maybe that's something that they're just interested in. And now we have Carolina going to make their pick.
I didn't even think they took the best London Knight available.
No.
Because Denver Barkey is on my list.
Oh yeah, Denver Barkey. Mute.
Yeah, we're on mute. Who should the Hawks target with their 4 second rounders? I mean, aim high. Aim high, dude.
Yeah, when you have options like that, just start throwing on high risk, high reward kind of players.
Who's Carolina got? There's Bradley
Nadeau. Seems like a very Carolina kind of pick.
Yeah, it's a very Carolina pick.
They could morph him into like a very, very good second line winger. Is there an E? I don't remember now.
No E. Bradley Nadeau. There goes 34 on my list, so that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus Easton Cowan. Makes 6 guys outside my first round that have gone. Andrew Crystal is still here. Gulyayev is still here. Edmondson is hot right now. He's coming from here. Yeah?
I always feel like I said earlier, the BCHL is a league that I don't pay enough attention to. Every year, there's somebody good coming out of it, and from Cale Makar. But like, it's one of the few junior A's that I'm like, hey, like we need to be paying more close attention to, because a guy like Bradley Nadeau is going to go under the radar a little bit, and yeah.
Gavin Brindley would be a solid pick. He's about where I would have had him. We both took him.
I had him a little bit higher.
Yeah, 25 and 27. I'm not huge on Gavin Brindley. I hate doing this to small players, but I just don't think he's big enough. I don't think he has enough talent otherwise to get him into the NHL at his size. And Cole Caulfield and Alex Brinkett and all these guys they have elite shooting or skating, or Gavin Brindley just doesn't check the same amount of boxes for me. But I've been wrong a bunch.
He'd be a great third liner.
Be a decent third
even
liner.
Despite his size, I think we're getting into a.
We'll be live streaming more of the draft. Yeah, we're going to be live most of tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe 3-4 hours again.
3-4 hours again. I don't know if we'll do all 7 rounds. Generally, we don't, but we'll kind of play it by ear.
Start to get a little wonky.
When we start to get a little tired of streaming, and the end of the 7th round, we barely know anybody and all this, and so we'll see. Reaction to Hab picks in both of Arizona's. A lot of people are not happy. I don't know if you can scrub back in the video and
I love
and check them out, but. I was surprised by Reinbacher
Yeah.
I don't know if I was mad, but like I was really surprised. He went that high, and surprised that Montreal took a defenseman. They have just an abundance of good defensemen. I was a little surprised with that.
I get it. He's a great fit. That's what Montreal's missing. That's what they need. He will be a great partner for Lane Hudson, who's shown that maybe he should have been a first-round pick. That they're building for their future, and he is the guy. I think we're seeing a little bit more and more throughout, like every year. Teams aren't just drafting the best; they're drafting who they think is going to be the best on their team. And I think that Reinbacher is going to do really well in Montreal. Is going to be a perfect fit for the team. And maybe they could have traded down to the 9th, but like, you know what? Who does that? Who cares anymore? Just pick the guy you want to draft.
Yeah, Simashev was a shock, but only because I was surprised that a team actually did it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
unworthy
of that pick. I think he's legitimately that good, and he could be a top 10 pick to the right team that really likes it. And I was shocked that Arizona was that team. To be honest.
I thought the Russia factor would play more of a factor.
Yeah, it has almost haven't been a non-factor.
Yeah, that like
this year.
Right. That maybe the only reason I had him falling to Toronto was maybe he falls for the Russian factor. Defensive defensemen tend to fall more.
Yeah.
I think we look back, I think a great example, Stanislav Svozil.
Yep.
He was supposed to be a top 15 pick, and then he goes in the third round. Right? But, he's very defensive, and as a result, he fell because it's kind of easier to replace that kind of the role that he would have filled on your team as a bottom pairing kind of defenseman.
Colorado here.
But Simashev, I think, is the best defenseman in this draft.
I think he will be looked at as the best defenseman in the draft.
Yeah. Reinbacher's great, but not the same type. And Gulyayev.
There goes Gulyayev.
Omsky. I knew Gulyayev would have to go in the first round. I'm looking at him like there's no way he falls to the second. There is a risk that Gulyayev, his offensive production isn't there. Sometimes with the puck, he does nothing. His decision making. I want to say a little bit of that is on Omsky, and as a result, the team drafting him here, Colorado, is taking a risk that they don't have as much control over his development for the next 2 to 4 years. They, if he's going to be playing in Russia, they're not going to be able to teach him the offensive side of the game.
You're close.
Yeah, is Omsky going to give him that kind of training and the proper development to develop, hey, Gulyayev might be the best skater in this draft, but can he convert great skating and the chances that he gives himself into real offensive chances? Because there's plenty of times that he skates into the zone fine, he gets around the opposing D, and then he just flips the puck, and you're like, okay, what are you doing, man? Like, you did all this work for what? Why are you working so hard? But the potential is absolutely there with that kind of speed to be a second pairing, top 4 kind of D. But the risk involved is if he doesn't develop those skills, he falls and ends up just being a really fast, good 10 to 20-point defender who can just defend and can't convert and can't create these offensive chances very well. I don't know, Arizona's weird. Talked earlier, last year they reached in the second round to draft Artem Duda. I thought that was crazy. Duda's fine, kind of is a power play specialist, big shot. Does the same thing. He's not a great breakout pass kind of guy, but offense is really what you're going to get out of Duda. But Arizona reached for, a guy in Russia, so I'm not surprised that they were willing to reach again in Russia twice to, grab the guy that they wanted, as it seems to be their pattern. I should probably be a scout in Arizona.
You should be a scout somewhere.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Yeah. Video scout. Russian defenseman selected in the first round for the last 10 years. Simashev, Gulyayev, Michkov, Mikhamadulin, Alexeyev, Sergachev, Provorov, and Zadorov. It's not very many.
No.
Only a handful.
And like
Alexander Alexeyev, the only like
I think Provorov, Sergachev, and Mintyukov were also playing in Canada. So they're already committed to North American junior teams. So it's kind of easier that to get, when you're considering the Russian factor, I feel like a player, obviously there's always the consideration in the future. Are they going to go back to Russia? Well, sure, there's the chance. You have a lot more control over their development if they're playing here in North America. You have a lot more certainty that at least as a young prospect, they'll be less likely to go back to Russia, where they're more likely in their late 20s, I feel like, to go when they realize that they're not going to get paid out here in the AHL. I'm going to change it to a happy face later. All right, the final pick.
Yeah, final pick. Yeah, nice. You see that? I was looking at it like, that needs something. All right. Look, I remember in 2014, I was upset that the Leafs, because I was young in my scouting days, that the Leafs took William Nylander instead of Nick Ritchie. Because Nick Ritchie is from my hometown. I've played against Nick Ritchie. I've been on the ice with Nick Ritchie before.
You should have known.
And no, he's so sick, dude. As a growing in high school hockey, he was the best player I've ever played with. I was mad, and in hindsight, shouldn't have been mad. But hurts. Easton Cowan hurts a little. Last pick. Who do we got? I have.
I feel like Andrew Crystal,
and you have Helton. Andrew Crystal, maybe.
I think Crystal would be a good pick for Vegas.
To congratulate David Poyle on a tremendous.
And they'd like to congratulate themselves on winning the Stanley Cup.
And echo the comments of many of my previous colleagues, thanking him for his mentorship and leadership in the game. So all the best to you in the future, David. The Vegas Golden Knights are pleased with the 32nd selection in the first round of the entry draft. Select from Frölunda, Sweden, David Edstrom.
David Edstrom. Yeah,
okay.
There you go. Okay.
Someone they'll trade in.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling he might sneak up.
Future, not a Golden Knight.
Center being chosen this time, though, not a Canadian in Connor Bedard, but a Swede in David Edstrom. A sizable Swede, guys, 6'3", and he really impressed at the Hlinka Gretzky tournament, and maybe that's why he worked his way.
That's your first round.
A fair assumption.
Great pick. So at the under 18s here last.
Winners, losers, winners. I'm gonna say St. Louis. Oh, the first round. Hey, the whole draft hasn't happened yet, but St. Louis here. Dvorsky, Stenlund. I think that's a great addition after Thomas. To they have a nice 2-3 punch now.
Stenberg.
What did I say?
Stenlund.
Oh, sorry, I meant Stenberg.
The other one.
And then Theo Lindstein, I think there's incredible potential there, and St. Louis is the team to absolutely turn him into a second pairing, kind of shut down defensive D. I think there's a lot of potential in Lindstein, and well, everybody knows, but he didn't really show enough of it this year. But St. Louis is definitely going to be the team to get it out of him.
Let's go through the top to bottom here. Connor Bedard, obviously, best pick in the draft. Leo Carlsson, first surprise. Everyone had him picked third behind Fantilli, but they flop. Interesting decision by Anaheim.
To Columbus's delight.
Yep, fell into Columbus's lap. Fellow NHL YouTuber Nasher is loving that, I'm sure. Columbus Blue Jackets fan. Will Smith to San Jose, you called that. David Reinbacher, first big surprise, I think. They kind of, not off the board, but maybe 10 picks of a reach. Dmitry Simashev, awesome pick for Arizona. I think that'll look really good in a few years. Matvei Michkov went to Philly. Did not drop to Washington. Was a little disappointed in that. Ryan Leonard, really good pick for Washington.
Yes.
We were saying that like he could learn from a guy like Tom Wilson and not be him, but kind of learn that style, the physical power forward kind of style of game. Nate Danielson, I think another one that's like a little bit of a reach, but great player here for the top 10. Rounds out Dalibor Dvorsky.
It's the first real reach where Reinbacher, if somebody told me he went 5th, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
Montreal,
he's the guy. But Danielson 9th, I'm like, whoa. Like, there are guys so much better on the board. I really like Danielson. I like the intangibles he brings as a leader on and off the ice. But at 9th, maybe a bit of a reach.
Yeah. Tom Willander jumps all the way to 11. I saw some people into his second round with Willander. He ends up in the top 15. Daniil Boot, the first big reach, I would say. I didn't have him until like 29. Good player. Arizona gets another Russian. Zach Benson for Buffalo, I think, is a really good pick.
Yeah.
It fell to him, but I think that fits well with Matthew Savoy, his teammate in Winnipeg, Winnipeg Ice right now. That's a great pick. Braden Yeager is such an elite Dubas pick.
Yeah.
I'm so upset.
I don't like Braden Yeager. I think his development stagnated. I feel like he forces things, but damn, can that guy shoot the puck.
Shoot the puck, dude.
Damn. And hockey, the point in hockey, I don't know if you knew this, Ryan, is to put the puck in the net.
Oh, shit.
And
You're right.
Yeager can do that. So
he can.
So
makes him very valuable.
That is, yes.
Matthew Wood for Nashville. Another American, another really good pick. I'm surprised other Americans went after him.
He's
to
Canadian.
be honest.
He's just playing in the
Oh,
US.
he's okay, fine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
US national team player, I should say. I always assume they're always
Matthew
American.
Wood?
Yeah, Matthew Wood.
No, he was NCAA, University of Connecticut.
Oh, I thought he was a US national team player. My
no,
bad.
no. He's Canadian playing in the NCAA, which is pretty cool. He was in the BCHL last year, and he was one of the big kids out of the BCHL. And that's what I was talking about, wanting to scout more in the BCHL, just because a lot of players are coming out of there now, and I think we need to be paying more attention to leagues that don't get the attention, because that's where you're going to get a sleeper pick, like a guy like Bradley Nadeau, who can absolutely show in a few years that maybe he should have been drafted a little bit higher.
Samuel Honzek, I love that for Calgary.
Yes.
That was one of the few that we did get combined there. Axel Sandin-Pellikka dropping to 17, I think is a little surprising. Detroit snags a dude.
I got a
Detroit
half point for that.
Underrated draft, half point for that. Colby Barlow to Winnipeg, underrated. I love that. Oliver Moore in Chicago with Connor Bedard freaks me out. I'm glad he's in the West. Just keep it over there. Edward Chalet, Seattle, good pick for them. High skill. Kind of not really a Seattle pick.
You know what, though?
But, like, there's no history there, so how do we know that?
I feel like he's not a Seattle pick, which makes him the perfect Seattle pick in that Seattle is trying to establish an identity, and they will not let it slide that Saleh's attitude and his kind of selfishness, his kind of doesn't really put in the effort, doesn't go hard in the corner. Seattle's going to say, no, we're going to establish our character, our identity.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Bill, tonight. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for some more nonsense.
Yeah, join us at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Appreciate you. Charlie Strammel, surprising. Not in the sense that, a year ago he would have been a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But recently he's been dropping. Oliver Bonk, that's a cool pick. And then we started to get, in guys who, a bunch of 20s. Gabe Perreault, Tanner Molendyk, Stenberg, Musty, Richie, all guys I could have seen in the low to mid-20s.
Richie, I'm surprised in that I feel like he could have gone a little bit higher.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I know you wanted him to drop to Toronto, of course.
So
but
close.
There's a few names I really like. Otto Stenberg. Yeah. But I feel like Richie has a little bit of a higher
He's just
ceiling.
a big, solid centerman.
right? And there's a ceiling there that Stenberg doesn't have. And if you're St. Louis and I'm looking at between the two, I like Stenberg as a solid, third line center, but Callum Ritchie has the potential to be, a solid piece to a top six, where Otto Stenberg, I feel like I'd only put him, in a top six role in a kind of an emergency. He'd thrive in that role. He'd do just fine, but he doesn't have what Callum Ritchie brings. So I'm surprised he dropped. That's one of the few drops that I'm really surprised on.
Yeah, he got so close to Toronto, man, but they picked Easton Cowan, the reach of the first round, the Tyler Boucher pick of the first round. I will forever now be even with Alex for that. Yep. We're gonna...
Not quite, because 10th overall, Cole Sillinger is a lot more on the board, but you feel a fraction.
I feel a little bit. Yeah. The universe evens it out because the Leafs are the Leafs.
Yeah.
So, the Leafs tax evens it out.
Yeah.
Theo Lindstein for St. Louis. Again, great draft for St. Louis with Stenberg, Lindstein, and Daliborski. Great day for them. Carolina.
Dalibor Dvorsky.
Daliborski. Daliborski!
That's his new name. That's his new name.
Bradley Nadeau, Mikhail Gulyayev, and David Edstrom to round it off.
I'm a little bit surprised Gulyayev dropped. That I feel like...
I'm not that surprised.
He's
31.
He's better than that. He absolutely is. There is a cap on his offensive potential, but...
I'm surprised Molendyke was picked before him.
That's what I'm saying. That, in a draft that clearly from the start, D were taken early and kind of set the tone for the rest of the teams that, hey, if you want your defenseman, you gotta go take him. That's what St. Louis did with Theo Lindstein. That's what Nashville did with Tanner Molendyke. I'm just a little bit surprised that neither said, Gulyayev's out there and he has the skating that kind of guarantees him to be NHL level. Can we develop him? Yes, we can. There's 10 teams that I feel like, maybe could have taken a chance on him and didn't. And left on the board.
Yeah. Biggest name left on the board is Andrew Crystal.
And that's
without a doubt.
I'm surprised, but also not shocked that the parts of his game, and I talked about it back in July last year, July 10th, I made a video, the 2023, early draft, and I said for him, I think I had him at 45 or 50th overall, and I said, hey, it's on him. He has all the tools, but can he put it together game in, game out? Can he really do it? And I think teams are looking at him saying, no, he hasn't shown that what's missing out of his game that really puts him in the edge with some of the other names, like a guy like Gabe Perreault, is that he's just missing it and hasn't developed that all year, and we're missing on that kind of development from him, and we want to see more from him.
Yeah.
And so I have a feeling he'll go to Anaheim.
They'll just pick him right out of the gate?
Because,
yeah. I mean, they didn't take Fantilli, so who knows what they're going to do. Yeah. Columbus end up with Adam Fantilli and Andrew Crystal. Yeah. It'd be sick for Columbus.
I think Kasper Halttunen, Lucas Dragashevich, they're two names that are big.
Riley Heidt, I know you're not huge on him, but I think he's pretty decent. There was no goalie picked in the first round. I think Michael Hrabel will be the first when that eventually happens, and I have that at 36 for San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, with Riley Heidt, I feel like I gave him enough chances. I watched him from the beginning of the year, and I was like, his Prince George Cougars team wasn't good last year. It kind of exposed him. He was forced into a much higher position, higher line, higher role, and I felt like, hey, you know what? The pressure's on him. His mistakes are a little bit about the team. And then I watched his team get better, and then his mistakes didn't kind of correct themselves. His mistakes kept going, and I felt like he's another guy who his development kind of stagnated, and those mistakes that kept showing themselves throughout the year are why teams are looking at him saying, hey, he's got the offensive potential to lead a power play, but does he have the rest of his game? No. We'll see. We'll take a shot on him in the second round.
Yeah. Oh, and that's it.
Thank you for everybody who joined us.
Yep. I know a couple of people have pieced out, but those of you that remain, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. You make this fun. Talking hockey with a bunch of peeps is awesome. Long live Easton Cowan. Dubas would never have let this happen.
We're Dopemon, two best friends of talk hockey news, analysis. We got mock drafts and scouting reports. We love the draft. We're so happy to be covering it. Please hit like and subscribe. Stick around because we're doing rounds 2 through 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll see how far we get tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, about 12 hours from now, in case you don't know your time zones. That is when we are going to be doing the next round. We love hockey. We're going to be covering it right here. A lot of places aren't doing it. They're just doing the first round, so we're awesome. We're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing it because we like it. It's fun. Yeah, that's it for the night, guys. Peace out.
Yay.